right, what's up? How is everybody tonight?
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Hang on a second. Let me make sure my audio's okay because I heard a little bit of feedback there for a second.
You sound good to me.
Do I? Okay. Might have just been the initial setup. I do like this little, we're kind of more reduced in size there, is what it looks like. Kind of
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little different.
I don't know. The StreamYard kind of changed up.
Yeah.
I've got this one too.
Yeah, that's the one I'm used to seeing is the one where it kind of stretches us on the YouTube and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
So
I mean, if it's just us two, we can do it this way. I like it. I like it. But
yeah,
as we
I'll
kind
have
of
to
add
go
people,
to
yeah,
I'll have to go to the one that switches up when we start adding people. But
gotcha,
it's
gotcha. Cool,
cool.
cool, cool. Yeah.
So, anything new and crazy going on with you this week?
Um, new and crazy, new and crazy. Trying to think. Man, there's some just keep busy. I'm busy all the time. Last week I worked overtime and oh my, it wore me out. I think in total last week I put in an extra like 15 hours, I think, in total
Mhm.
extra on top of my 40. So it was a 55-hour week. I was a dog tired come
Man,
Sunday, man.
I remember my first part-time job.
Yeah, yeah. You know, when you get so used to, on average, it's usually 45, right? So I always work
Yeah.
45 on average, about 40, anywhere from 44 to like 45, 46 on like just a standard week. And this one, I was like, oh, I'll just pick up an extra day, no big deal. They only want me to do storm cleanup anyway, so I'm just going around just raising down lines, right? That's not what they had me do at all.
Oh,
At all. I was doing installations and running traffic control and everything. I was doing everything because I was just the spare guy. But yeah, it had me wore down. Come Sunday, man, I was spent. I was like, I'm ready to take a nap, and at that point, I'm like, I got to feed snakes. I got to clean snakes. Got to check everything. I did end up losing a couple of mice. I was kind of bummed about that. So now I'm down to just a 1-to-1 right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed that female actually goes. That way I can kind of build it back up. It was a young, inexperienced colony anyway when I got it, and it was a 3-2. So there's 3 males, 2 females. I was like, okay, they all raised together. I'll just leave them in, let them do their thing. As they get older, they'll kind of sort out their pecking order, whatever. Didn't think much of it. Ended up losing one of the females. Then I was like, you know what? I'm down to 1 female. I got 3 males. I was like, I got to downsize. I got to get rid of these males. I was like, got to
they're gonna
simplify
work
some.
with you death.
Yeah, yeah. They'll end up killing her if I'm not careful. Just. So I was like, all right, we'll go down to a 1-to-1 and just rock with that for a while and see how it goes. So I got that. I just had some more ASFs fall down. Rat production, Norwegians are actually doing all right. I'll have those 2 males for you as soon as they, wean out. So that way you can
Yeah. And I've
roll
got a
some more
couple
blood.
males growing out. If you want to do swap,
That'll work.
we can
Yeah.
do swap.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. I'm kind of, I think I'm at my limit on my bloodline anyway. So I need to roll in and rotate. So yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
that will work for me. Other than that, I hung the banner just before we came on tonight. I did put it up in front of the rack a little bit. Trying to think of anything else going on. Spring break.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are on spring break, but
Yeah. Well, you had a pickup too this week, didn't you?
yeah, yes I did. Yes I did. He's a little tiny little guy, and then I just so happened to kindly relocate a snake to here that'll fit maybe in the breeding project a little bit better. So
Yeah.
mainly for that pied focus, for sure. She's definitely gonna hammer that pied stuff home.
Yeah.
I got to thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, well, I got a black het pied. I was like, if I do it right, I could go blackhead OD pied. Might be something worth checking out. Draw
Yeah,
out more of a reddy hue instead of the orange. So we'll see.
yeah, and save something back, and then go for super blackhead.
Yeah. See,
See,
thinking about
so,
it. Think about it. Think about it.
so
Yeah, it's going.
yeah, I mean, I'm super glad that she fit in for you because
Yep.
you know, I know those are kind of close to the lines that you were pushing to go. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. She definitely. She's adjacent to, with mainly with the OD stuff
mm,
because I did want to bring that in. Didn't necessarily have immediate direction for the OD stuff, but it will end up playing out in my favor to have it now rather than just trying to bring it in later after I superform. Because if I superform first and then I strip the super away, then I got to go build back to the super. It'll just take too much
yeah,
time for me. So yeah,
yeah, yeah,
think logically.
yeah.
But
You
but
always got to
anyway,
go
yeah,
oriented.
yeah. What about you? Any new chaos and crazy?
So yeah, there's been plenty of chaos, plenty of chaos. So let's see. I brought in. Good Lord, I got to count now. One, four, five, six, seven, eight,
Mm,
8 new ones
yeah.
this past week, and I've got. And those are all ball pythons. I've got 2 more ball pythons and 2 house snakes, African house snakes, coming this week.
Okay. Okay.
And we're gonna get everything set up. Ran up this past Friday to the pet store up in Muncie and picked up some odds and ends that I didn't have that I
Hmm.
kind of wanted for the house snake because they're a little different. They like to climb around and burrow and go
Yeah.
through stuff and um, you don't have to keep them as moist as you do ball pythons, but you want to provide them with humid hides and things like that. Uh, Kind of not too far off. Keep it a king snake or corn snake, something like that. You just got to provide them with a place to go.
Right.
Um, Now their hot spot is considerable amount lower.
Right.
Keep them
Right.
about 85 at the low limit. 87, 88 max. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Now
So I didn't.
those are not colubrids, correct?
No, they are lapids.
Lapids. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So totally different. They do lay eggs, and you gotta strip them and incubate them if you'd like there as well. Incubation temperatures are a little different, but these are like juvenile ish, and they're a lot
Okay.
smaller snake anyway.
Yeah.
But I ordered in 2 enclosures, and I got some stuff, some decor, and some smaller water dishes, and some stuff for them to climb in through and around and on. And I'm gonna figure out. I got an idea what I want to do for substrate. I'm gonna do a little bit more research. But when I first get them in, they'll be on paper towel like everything else, because I
Right.
got to check
Right.
them out. So I've
Yep.
got, I don't know, a week or so of checking them out before I even attempt to put them on substrate. So I've got a little time.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
and then these I've been told by the breeders that they're coming from, they won't really eat in a barren setup. They have to have things just right,
Okay.
or they'll struggle to go on food for you.
Okay.
But after you get them eating and they're kind of comfortable with their environment, you can kind of change things as needed, and they're like tanks once they get going good and solid.
Right.
So
Right. So very, very similar to how king snakes operate. King snakes take a
yeah,
little bit when they first hatch to get them really rocking and rolling.
yeah, yeah,
But once they start going, they go turn into garbage disposals. 100%. They'll
yeah.
eat anything.
So these are actually my partner Jody's snakes. I'm
Okay.
hanging on to them and working with them and getting them changed over from live to frozen thawed.
Okay.
And I'm kind of getting some keeping experience, hands-on experience with them to figure out whether it's a direction that I'd like to move in the future.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
kind of a hands-on learner type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done a
Yeah.
boatload of research into them. So I think I can handle it. I've got a pretty good idea set up and everything.
Right on.
It's just me getting used to them at this point, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely an adjustment when you jump to other species and things like that, you know. So it's, you know, you always try to put like some type of comparison to what you're used to and familiar with. So, you know, coming from a person who's got, you do have a king snake, so
Mhm.
you aren't too far, you know, stretched from what you're kind of familiar with, you know, for the sake of keeping your
Yeah,
king snake. So they're pretty,
absolutely.
like the way you described it, those are pretty close. As far
Yeah,
as like
fairly close. Yeah,
they need clutter, they need humid hides, they need busy, because it keeps their,
they need
you
something
know,
to do.
yeah, it keeps them going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, and like I said, they are burrowers and they will stay hidden some, and but
Yeah.
they and they're nocturnal, so they come out at night and they wreak havoc at night. You know, so
You wake up, everything's kind of just like all in disarray. You're like, what
yeah,
happened?
yeah, yeah.
You're like, I just cleaned this
So
up.
you know that's the pretty good news. I've got some pretty horrible news to share as well.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we've said before we share both the good and bad. We want to talk about exactly what it is to be a ball python breeder
Yeah.
or anybody that works with live animals. Period. So we have had a death in the family, um, and it was our lesser clown female, the one that was the furthest far along, and about ready to lay for us, or so we thought. Okay, so as most of you know, that I do palpate and I do not own a ultrasound. So the last time I palpated this girl, she was probably about 25 millimeters or so, and you're talking probably a good 3 months ish ago. So she was well on her way. Uh, Now this is the growing pain part. Part of this is me being a new breeder. Part of this is something I don't think many experienced breeders would have been able to do anything about, right? Um, so the story is I come home Friday and instead of doing exactly what I normally do is open the bins first, I go into the hatchling rack and I clean the hatchlings. And then we hop in a truck and go up to Muncie, and we was collecting, buying stuff for these house snakes. And when we come home, that's the first thing I do, put the stuff on the table and then go to popping open bins and start looking, right? And of course, she being the most farthest advanced female I have, that's the one I went to first. And she was dead. I mean, but dead, just laying there. Um, and she was still very, very limp. So it was really, really fresh. Um, so immediately it was damage control. I put on gloves. I pulled her box out of the enclosure, set it on the table over here. I cleaned her enclosure, and then I went to checking her out. Um, and to me, it appeared to be organ failure. I'm not going to go into many gruesome details, but I did palpate, and she had no eggs whatsoever. She had totally reabsorbed. So the swelling that she had had was her organs shutting down on her and her swelling up is what it was. Um, Immediately after that, I was in a discussion with my wife about it, and she said, "Well, you need to go spend money and get your ultrasound." I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, if you had been ultrasounding actively, you would have been able to tell that she regressed as far as her clutch and that swelling was abnormal. And you may have not been able to stop it, but you would have been able to vet her and euthanize or whatever instead of uh, what had happened. She basically went through the whole process and died. And undoubtedly, she suffered some, you know. because reptiles and birds alike, they hide pain and they hide physical ailments horribly. You know, they hide them really, really well. Like you won't be able to tell until it's almost too late, or in a lot of cases, it's too late.
Yeah.
And this girl threw me for a loop because she did everything like she was supposed to do. She bowl wrapped. She hung out in her water bowl, cooling down to grow follicles. She progressed and swelled up in size slightly, and then she had her shed, which I was saying pre-ovulation shed. Well, she ovulated. She started getting huge, and then she had another shed, and I'm like, all right, this is the pre-lay shed, right? And it wasn't 7 days, 6 days after that shed that she passed away. And then I palpate her, and there's no eggs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she went off food like she was supposed to. She was curling up on the heat source like she was supposed to. She was done. She checked all these boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the tougher parts of being a breeder. It's one of the tougher parts of owning animals and caring about the animals and wanting to do well by them. You know. But I did want to share that because this, and I wasn't going to at first, but I'm like, no. I said in the beginning that we share both the good and the bad because we want you guys to understand and realize what it is to be a ball python breeder. And we want you to know that it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
It really is not. Right. You have horrible, horrible things that happen sometimes, and sometimes they're out of your control.
Absolutely.
So, you know, after I got her taken care of and in the freezer, I cleaned up, you know, sanitized, and I went to checking everybody, you know, because at this point it's paranoia, you know what I mean? Even though I could tell by looking at her that it was organ failure, it's still I got to look at everybody, make sure everybody else is okay, make sure nothing else is crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we do quarantine very well around here. You know, John, how many months did we have that one what was he pewter spot nose with respiratory infection?
I
We had him. We had him for over a year.
Better. Yeah,
Yeah,
about 8 months to a year of quarantine, aggressive quarantine, and then yeah. I mean,
and nobody else even as much as coughed, sniffled, sneezed, wheezed, nothing, because we're on with our quarantine. We swab, I do the RAL swabs, we do all these steps to protect everybody here. You know, all the animals and what we do. I don't know. It's just one of those things that catches you from left field, and you're just not ready for it.
Yep.
So, but that's the sad news. Enough about that stuff.
Yeah. We'll pick it back up, pick up the mood a little bit. So,
yeah. So, I mean, other than that, we've not started another round of pairing yet.
Gotcha.
I'm decided to hold off.
Yeah.
A little bit. I want to try to get that ultrasound in, give everybody an assessment. They've all had plenty of locks by now. If they're going to go, they're going to go.
Right.
But I still want to put eyes on the inside. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We ordered some next level displays also this weekend, so we're definitely moving forward. And then the two females that I said I had coming in, those were kind of to replace the one we lost. It's going to jump one of not the Xanthic project, but it's going to jump one of our other projects a couple years ahead by having those two additional females after quarantine and all that. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely looking forward, and eyes are still on the prize for sure.
Yeah, That's good to hear. Good to hear that you didn't
Yeah.
get deterred too much from the original goal and the original vision. It's very easy to lose sight of it, especially when you're going through those, those tribulations and trials, and you start to question yourself as somebody who is breeding and who is raising these animals, and you start to like wonder, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what caused that? Like, is it my fault? You start to
Yeah. Yeah.
internalize and preach the negativity into yourself to like make worse of the situation, even though it's something that you have knowledge of, but you don't. The expectation wasn't there. You didn't expect any of that to happen. So, with that in mind, you were like, okay, she's doing all the things right. She's showing signs of this. She's been actively breeding. So this is what it seems like to me. And you're not wrong, because majority of people, through the sense of complacency and consistency, would agree with you that everything made sense, and she checked out exactly all those boxes, like you said, on the list. She was shedding right, she was eating right, she had went off food, she was bowl wrapping, she was soaking, she was cool side to hot side, she was doing the swelling and everything like that. You hit it on the head with, she's doing everything that most breeders would do. So
Yeah.
so that's something to take away from it, guys. Don't get complacent. Don't hesitate to raise question with yourself. Like, hang on, let me double check this. You know, let me let me
Yeah.
let me put myself to to the grindstone a little bit. Yes, I have a method that works, and yes, I follow my method and it worked. It's worked 100 times, but at that one time that it didn't. That one time that it didn't absolutely wrecked your psyche. So knowing that,
Yeah.
double checking and triple checking and being thorough is never the mistake.
Yeah. So, other than moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest out because
Yeah, yeah,
I
we've been
didn't,
standing on the soapbox for a minute.
yeah, I didn't intend this intro basically to last so long, and I don't want him to
Yeah,
get bored by himself. So, let's bring
absolutely.
Snake and Pat on. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty
Doing
good.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sorry to keep you back here so much, but we were telling stories.
Nah, ain't nothing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry about your loss too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah,
care a lot about my snakes too. I know that would probably mess me up pretty
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
yeah. It definitely messes with you a little bit. I mean, she was beautiful example of lesser clown too. So you had insult on top of injury by that, and then you also have to look that set that project back by uh, at least 3 years. That alone, right? So I mean, aside from all that, you got to deal with the loss too. Because
Yeah,
this is a snake that I've had for 2 years. She wasn't a short time residency around here. She was here since one of the first snakes that I brought in when I started to collect snakes with the mindset that I was going to be a breeder.
yeah, yeah, man. It's one thing about it, man. The snakes can't tell you if something wrong with you. Like you said, they don't even. A lot of the times, they don't even show signs that something going on with them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's kind of the curse of having them. You know what I'm saying? Is that you can't tell there's something going on with them until, like you said, it's almost too late. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
it's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of people in the chat, and myself included, that watch you on at least a bi-weekly basis, right? I catch you every chance that I can on Sundays. Tell us a little bit about yourself here, though. What do you what's behind the scenes on Snake Man Pat? What got you interested in the reptiles, and what gave you the drive to start showing yourself on YouTube and Instagram?
Uh, well, most of y'all know. To the ones who don't know, I'm Snake Man Pat. I'm a hobbyist. I have not yet started breeding yet, so I'm big into the hobby. I try to support everybody. You know what I'm saying? So if you follow me, you probably gonna see me in the comments one way, shape, or form. So I try to support everybody. I love the hobby. I love what everybody is doing. Um, what I've been owning sneaks since 2020. September the 20th was when I got my first sneak. Earlier that year, I had started. Just I've always been big on YouTube, so I'm on YouTube all the time, and I happened to be scrolling through the feed and seeing the guy holding a ball python in his hand. You know what I'm saying? In the thumbnail, I was like, click on it. You know, I clicked on it, watched the video. Brian Barchett. Seen the way. So every week, I was just watching. And once you get to watching videos, it give you other people that's doing the same thing. Once you get to liking and watching videos, it give you other, people that's doing the same thing. So I started clicking
Yeah.
on everybody's videos and watching everybody's video. I'm like, damn, I like those snakes, man. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I think I could do that. But the only snake that was on my mind was a ball python. You know what I'm saying? I was learning about the temperament. Never read a book. YouTube taught me everything I need to know. YouTube taught me everything I need to know about the animal. So, my wife was like, "Well, babe, you go ahead and get you one." You know what I'm saying? So I went to PetSmart, got the whole little setup, got my first normal, and it's been history now. 6 years later, I got 15 snakes, so it's very addictive.
Yep. Big time addictive for sure. You turn from two. I turned from two snakes to almost 100 in a matter of 2 years. Yeah, I scaled and then had to scale way down. I was like, nope, that's too much.
Too much,
Yeah,
but
had to cut.
it's hard. It's hard not to. Like every time I have somebody on my show, I want to go get another snake. Every single time, but people start showing off stuff, I'm like, damn, man, I shouldn't even. I need to stop doing these shows because I can't help myself. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
listen,
just
Feeding
listen.
addiction.
Right
I
here,
can't.
Satchmo is a pro at spending your money. I promise you that.
Hey,
He is the worst when it comes to condoning bad behavior. I promise you.
you need them around though because when it is time to act up, that's who you need around. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, he gets me
Act
in
up.
all sorts of trouble. When it comes
Yeah,
to
man.
buying
Yeah,
snakes.
yeah.
So that's what it basically was for me. And then as far as me starting to do the YouTube thing, um, I learned that you can make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I'm always in my phone all the time. At least I could be doing something constructive if I'm gonna be in the phone all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I created my channel, and at first I was just doing videos about anything. You know what I'm saying? So doing the little kid-friendly, funny YouTube shorts that I do, that's what got the channel monetized. And then I said, well, I am Snake Man Pat. I need to cater to my snake people and just to YouTube in general. So I just blended the two together. You know what I'm saying? And here we go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yep.
So I know, like, there's some of these people in the chat's heard this 1,000 times, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But we kind of started just to learn more. You know, we like getting on here. We like participating in the lives. We like watching them. All the YouTube shows that are out there, and all of them filled with good people. Um, so we just kind of decided to do our own little thing. You know, just get on here and talk and have fun, and that's what it is. And I've learned a lot sitting in this seat. You know, people come on and they'll tell me drop a little diamond of information or whatever. People in the chat and talk about stuff, and you learn stuff. Gives you ideas on breeding plans. You know, you get to searching. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that's kind of what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good, man. People want to be interacted with. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing, man. You probably don't realize how many people that you probably help every Monday we all hop on, and you know what I'm saying. That's probably the only kind of communicating some people do all day. I'm close. I'm more closer to the snake community now than shit. A lot of people in my family. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
but
Yep.
it's just it's an outlet, man. And if you got a lot of people that's interested in what you're doing, it gives them the out for a little while. From 7 o'clock
Yeah,
to 9 o'clock, they know that they can get away from the rest of the world for a little while, and then after y'all show go off, it's back to reality again. But those 2 hours gave people the strength to be like, well, all right, I had this on my mind for a little while. I can go to bed tonight. I can get up tomorrow and do it again. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you never know what kind of effect that you're taking on people. So I say that to say, just try to, you know what I'm saying, stay on the up and up. Do your thing, man. Do what make y'all happy, man. Do it the way y'all want to do it. Freestyle it. You ain't gotta have everything all organized and the hell with what other people say and think, bro. People they talked about Jesus, so somebody gonna have something to say,
Yeah,
bro. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know what I mean? So who gives a damn, really? You know what I'm saying? Just do your thing, man. Be great and shit. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Real.
for
absolutely,
sure, for sure.
absolutely.
Like it a lot. So then let me flip it to this. So you're say you're fairly new. You got 15 snakes. What's your go-to morph like as far as projects? Where you at ball python wise? What are you thinking?
Well, I have shouts out to FNA. I got two dinkers. I have a stranger mustard, and I have a AK-47. Definitely gonna do some dabbling into that, but I have an ivory that's 100% het trash stripe, and I think that's the route that I'm gonna try to produce my own visual trash stripes.
Okay, I can get
Okay,
behind the stripe complex stuff. All right, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
yeah,
So that's kind of what. Shouts out to Ash at Wolf Minded. You know what I'm saying? He came down. He stopped by my house in January, and he was headed to see her. And I'm here in Virginia, so he stopped by the house. And he told me, he said, "Look, I'm gonna bring you a snake, uh, and I'm gonna bring you a rack system too." So I was like, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? I won't really pressure in it. You know what I'm saying? But he actually called me. Was like, "Bro, I'll be in Virginia in this amount of time." I said, "Okay, cool." He bought me the Ivory head trash stripe and a 5 stack rack system. You know what I'm saying? And to be
That's
honest, I have 15 snakes. Out of 15 snakes, I probably paid for 7. All the rest of them were given to me from people.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
the
people were
community,
excited to see
he,
somebody else
he
excited.
Yeah, yeah,
it's an amazing community, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah, I think like 8 of my snakes I didn't pay for. People had gave them to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Feed the
Like
community that feeds you at the end of the day, right? Yeah,
You know
you
what
know,
I'm
a
saying?
hundred percent, hundred
yeah,
percent.
yeah, they're up there feeding your soul. You might as well, they feed your obsession. You at the end of the day, the biggest thing Garrett said it best. Just remember to pay it forward. That's why he
That's
does what he
it.
does. 100%.
That's it.
We're here to advance the community that much further. We might have a vision that you might not have picked up or saw, or like, having a ball was in the chat a couple weeks back, and he was just absolutely just making my brain go like explode with just all this knowledge on dark morph stuff that I'm like, this guy gets it. Like he just gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just makes sense. So to have people that you can like bounce ideals back and forth off of, and be like, hey, get a hold of me in private. We'll talk this and we'll talk that, and I'll help you however I can in any which way I can. Just it speaks volumes on how friendly people are, and from what you hear about some of the people who have been in the trade for a long time, like a real long time, it used to not be that way. It was very kind of hush hush behind the curtain stuff that happened. Nobody talked about nothing. Everybody kind of kept to themselves. So to see that change, to where people are now coming in with that positive mindset, that reinforcing behavior, and just saying, "Hey, if I got it, that means you got it too. So let's get this mission together." So that's
Fact.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think that feedback stuff came back. I'm getting a little
It's
reverb on my end.
Yeah, it's kind of I'm hearing some static and stuff myself, especially while he was talking. I could hear
Is it
like,
is it mine that's doing it? You think?
well, you're clear now. You're definitely clear now. I don't know if it's how do I sound to you guys?
You sound good now. Let me try some stuff. Talk a little bit.
Hello? Is it me? It's coming from me? No? Yes?
Nope.
No,
Are we good? Everything good?
Everything good, straight. Y'all hear me? Okay.
I can hear you
Yeah.
fine. I think it's like when we pick up and initially start talking that everything kind of just
Mm.
kind of
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
something.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried muting everybody individually and it was gone and then now it come back. I don't know.
Well, you know, we get to talking some good stuff. Some things, you know, they say the devil don't want some people to hear certain things. So
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know how it go.
never
That's
would work. Never
man
would
for sure.
work.
Yeah, you know how it go.
So you said you wasn't ready to breed now. Do you have a ballpark timeline on that? Like when do you plan on to actively start?
Probably later this year.
Okay.
Yep.
So you
See,
got incubator lined up?
yeah. Yep. I got all that stuff again. Ashley, he been so good to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, he bring incubate all that stuff. So, me just being a hobbyist, I was just seeing snakes and being like, okay, dang, I like that one. Get it. I don't care if it's a male or female. Oh, I like that one. Get it. I don't care if it's a male.
Yeah.
All my males are ready. Females, none of them are ready.
Yeah. He did that one in reverse there for a
Yeah, I
minute.
did it in
Yeah,
reverse. So
yeah.
that's the main thing. But later on in the year, I'm thinking September, October maybe. The girls will be ready. Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do your own rodent breeding or do you buy?
I buy.
You buy?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
back, but I'm in the process of moving now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely need the space. And I plan on breed my own rodents and stuff in the future because the more snakes you have, that shit gets high, man. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how they keep you paying money, man. That's they run
You
you
dish out
broke going
a
to
lot
the
of
pet
money.
shop.
Right.
Yeah.
So man, I was going to a place called Simply Pets, man, and I could buy like 6 rats, 6 to 8 rats, bro. I'm paying shit $50 for those rats, easy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to. Are y'all familiar with Conley Hertz?
No,
No.
I'm not.
Not heard that
Yeah,
name.
well, he's based out here in Virginia, but my homeboy works for him, and my homeboy got about, I think Jeremy got about 300 snakes himself.
Mm.
So they at the facility where he works at though they breed their rodents. They breed rodents. So um, I went through them. You know what I'm saying? And it sliced my price in half. So now that same price that I was paying for 6, I'm paying probably not even that much for 15 rats if I get that much. So it
Yeah.
definitely was a big help. So if to anybody who's buying rats, I would tell you try to find you a good breeder to buy from instead of going to these stores because these stores gonna hurt your pockets. They're gonna
Yeah.
hurt your pockets.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they're they're
100%. I
talking they're
know.
talking like 150% markup on retail for that stuff. Like, something that costs you $2 to raise to size and in total in supplies and everything, $2 to raise will cost you $12 at a store. So I mean you're spending an insane amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know last year about this time, my Norwegians had a slowdown. So I went because I just barely kind of scrimped through and I didn't have near as many snakes as I do now. But I went and bought, and I think it was 9 rats, and it was 78 bucks. I'm like, there ain't no way.
For 9 rats, you pay $78.
9 rats. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, there ain't no way. I told John, I come back and I said, John, I'm gonna get so big in my rat production, I'm gonna put that pet store out of the feeder business
Yeah. Yeah.
because
And
they bust their heads.
hard and heavy and they're buying off of someone and getting wholesale price on like bulk rats. So they're paying what we would pay, like somebody would pay us. So like say I'm in a surplus or whatever, somebody pay $2 for a large rat. That's how much they're paying these people to buy the rats from them, and then they're turning around selling them for like 9 or 10. And I'm like, you walk in there, you're like, "Eh, $9 for a rat? Like, what? It's a rat."
Yeah. Yeah, man. When I walked in there and looked there, I was like, man, y'all went up $2 on these rats. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We've been slimming in. Some of these stores, they don't know the difference between a small rat, medium rat, like a crawler. They be selling those crawlers as small rats. And I'm like, yo, this is a crawler, yo. That's not a small rat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they selling them two in a pack for $10.
Mm.
If you got 10 snakes, man, you ready to pay $50, $60 for six, eight racks. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's yeah. When I got with my homeboy and he said, yeah, man, we breed our own rats, we gas them and we freeze them up for you. I can send your order whenever. I was like, shit, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It
yeah,
makes it way, way easier when you do it yourself. You know, if you
yeah.
can do
I
it in
think
house, do it in house.
Man,
I
I
got
do have
60
a funny
cents.
story though. I do have a funny story though. To be honest, I'm getting better now. But I've all love snakes. I hate everything about a rat, yo. Scared of them. Put me in a room with a Burmese python, you'll probably see me in there playing with it. Put me in a room with a large rat, y'all gonna see a body print in the wall. I'm coming out of there. Coming out of there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming out of there,
Yeah.
but I'm getting a little bit better because a couple of my snakes are picky eaters and they don't eat but live. So
Mm.
when my friend Jeremy comes over, I try to grab him by the tail just to get a feel of it. You know what I'm saying? And I drop them in there. If they don't eat it, I grab it, pull it back out. You know, so I'm getting better at it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I got when I was young, I got bit by a rat, and that's a painful bite.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that rat bit my finger, and I ain't been right with no rat since. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll mess with them. But you know, in order to feed my animals, I make that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think anybody as reptile, as especially as snake people, none of us want to have to feed rodents. Like you love all animals, you respect them and everything like that for all that they're worth. But at the end of the day, you don't want to have to do that. It's just a necessary step in order to provide for the animals that you do have. So when a lot of people have such a controversy. You feed your snakes rats? I'm like, yeah, I have to. I mean, it's a necessary step in order to keep my snake alive. I was like, but I can promise you this: my breeder rats, live probably the best life they could ever live. They live in luxury. They're getting fed like crazy. They're getting bedding changes every 3 days. They're getting fresh water constantly. They're, table scraps when I can and where I can and everything. They're really getting living lavish. And then they're like, oh, I never thought of it like that. I'm like, I mean, when you think about it, they're just like having a pet. They just produce babies, and those babies turn into food for my. It's a necessary step to feed my snakes. I have to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people that be having those opinions too, man. Like when they say things like that, that's cruel, that's rude. How in the hell do y'all think these animals eating in the wild? I mean,
Ain't
how do
nobody
you?
warming it up for
Is
them.
it cruel because we're doing it, or is it cruel because it's cruel?
right,
And most of the people who say stuff like that have absolutely no knowledge about breeding, ballparking. They know nothing about the animals. You know what I'm saying? They
right,
know absolutely nothing. So you know,
yeah.
it
Well,
is
You
what
yeah,
just
it is.
you get that when you get on these Facebook groups, especially they're horrible about it. Oh, a ball python baby needs a 4x2x2 enclosure and all this. And I'm like, you do realize that they're exclusionary animals and they like to
they're,
fit in the
they're
tightest
this
spot.
big when they're babies. They fit in the palm of my hand, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
you
that's
are
the reality.
gonna starve that critter to death because it's gonna lock up and not want to eat when it's that small and you put it in something that large. It's
Yep,
gonna feel way too vulnerable.
yep.
I'm like,
Right there,
I mean,
six quart shoe tub. Some things work great for hatchlings. I'm just saying, and I always recommend people get the ones with the latches because if you don't, you're gonna have some escape artists. They're
Mm-hmm.
stronger than they look, and they will push them lids open. They will
Yeah,
push them lids open.
my homeboy had two escape, and I'm like, how they keep getting out, bro? He said, well, I had them in the tub, man. You know what I'm saying? And I said, bro, those tubs you got don't have the clips on them to keep the tub down. I said that snake. I said they can flatten themselves a good distance, good little ways, bro. They can like make themselves flat. I said he'll slide, he'll push that piece up, slide right out,
Yep.
Yeah.
slide right out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he got it. He finally got it after 3 escapees, but he's straight now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Straight.
Yep. 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 I mean, you just have to. It's a necessary part. Buy the equipment once. Like Carl, like you said, buy once, cry once. Spend the money
That's right.
to have something that you know is not going to have an escape artist come out. So
Yeah.
Fact.
I'm big about that. You got to have the right tool for the job. Sometimes you're paying for convenience, but that convenience saves you a headache, you know?
yep.
Agreed.
Yep. So, what's your hardest lesson you've learned so far, Pat, as far as keeping snake?
They gonna make you be patient.
Yeah.
That's
They
to me.
don't.
That's forced. You can do what the hell you want to, but that snake ain't gonna do nothing until it's ready.
Hmm.
Yep.
Eat, breathe, shed. Whenever it get ready to do it, it's gonna do it. So it's their time. If that's something that's really out of you, keep it, but it's out of your control. Only thing is in your control is keeping fresh water, keeping it clean. Check on the snake to make sure everything is okay with it. But breeding, all the is up to them, and you have absolutely no control. It teaches you patience. You know what I'm saying? It teach you, and a lot of things I ain't patient with. So having them, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it that was a hard one, being a person that want it when I want it versus that thing saying, man, look, I get to size when I get to size. you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just it taught me a lot of patience, and that was a hard lesson to teach a person that's not all that patient. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
I'd have to agree with that. That's one of the key things. I mean, I was blessed with a lot of patience, but I did realize really quick they don't keep my schedule. It's all about their schedule. The feeding, just like you said earlier on, I had some that didn't like a black rat or didn't like a white rat, or yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about catering to them. You
Yep.
guys, and they have all got their own little personalities.
People don't believe that, but they do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do. 100%.
They're particular about certain things. Some of them like it. Hey, I gotta have a hide to be able to eat. Hey, I gotta have a water dish so I can soak all day long. And then if I gotta get a rock in there so I can rub up against it, because if not, I'm not gonna shed right. Even if you got
Yeah.
perfect conditions, it's still gonna have a blown out shed. You may experience that as your females get larger, especially when they get to like real big, 2,000 grams and up. Even with perfect conditions, sometimes they'll just still blow up a shed. It'll still be like instead of a one solid piece, it'll be like 3, 4, 5 pieces. It'll all come off, but it'll be broken. And you're like, man, I really want to keep that shed. That would look real nice, And you're like, I guess not.
Nope.
Yep.
So I got a shed hanging up here. First clean shed I've had from this girl, and I've had her since November. And it wasn't because she was broken up. It was because she's the one that likes to bag her poop for me.
Ah.
So I like to keep at least one shed and dry it out clean. That way, in case I need to shed test later, I can just cut a piece off and, you know. But it took me, like I said, since November to get her to shed without shitting in the thing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
At least she's
So,
clean. I don't want it in my hat with me, so I'm gonna put it in the shed. You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
At least she's not doing it in the water dish either. I got
saying?
some.
yeah.
They'll go up
I got
because
something like that.
yeah, with the cup holders especially, they'll go up over the top and then they'll like drag themselves right across to try to help push it down, and then it'll just drop right in the water dish. And you're like, you open it and it just smells like that water just turns it up like crazy, and you're like, oh man, like are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
them ones, the
Yeah,
ones that use the bathroom and then want to slide through it after they use the bathroom. I was like,
and it's
dude, really?
always the lighter colored snakes too. Always.
They can't be
See the
clean. They don't
poop
like it.
on the side of the head, down the side of them. I'm like, dude, what's the
Yeah.
point? What are you doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, name of the
Or the
game.
ones that paint you a mural on the side of the tub.
Yep. Had that. Had
Yeah,
those.
like what are you doing, Picasso? I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, man. I'm telling you.
There we go. There we go. T-shirt. Woo, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. You got some of them that's kind of neat. They just do it in a certain little area and kind of, but you got some that don't give a damn where they do it at. In the hat with them, and I stay in the hat with it. Won't come out of the nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
have one, I can tell when he used the bathroom in the hat because he'll come out, wrap around the water bowl, and that's where he'll chill at. I'll be like, yeah, you don't use the bathroom inside your hat. Lift the hat up. Sure enough, it's pooping there with him because it never fails. He use it in the hat.
Yeah,
He come out, wrap around his bowl, and he'll stay there until I clean it out.
yeah. I got a couple adult that were rescues that are now pets, and
Mm-hmm.
they're in here 4x2x2. And one of them in particular, he'll poop in his hide every time, but when he poops, he'll come out and he'll sit on top of the hide. Like that's how I know. I'm like, all right, I got to clean you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I think the worst ones are the ones that do it right in the corner. It's almost like they back it up into that corner and they just said, okay, I'm going to
Smash it
shoot
in
this in
there.
there and I'm going to smash it as tight as I
Mm-hmm.
can in that corner. And
Yeah,
you're just sitting there with the scraper, like digging and digging and digging. And you're like,
Yeah,
really?
like really, I put silicone caulk in that corner. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just,
So
just
I just had a light bulb here because I saw Mitzi over here smiling. I
but
ain't go
Mitch,
through the comments yet to see who's been in here. So
oh, yeah. Yeah. We definitely got to do that.
yeah, so first comment was Will. He actually hopped on my TikTok live earlier.
Okay.
I went live while I was cleaning these snakes back here earlier today on TikTok. He was in there showing some support.
shouts out to
We
Will.
got old faithful G Paul. He's
T Paul.
everywhere.
He's the man. He's the man.
He is everywhere all at once. 100%. He's all the
That's,
time in every chat you go to.
yeah, that's my boy
Uh,
right there, T Paul.
we got my man Prophecy. He doesn't show up in here hardly at all, but I'm glad to see him.
Prophecy was good.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Karina, G Paul's
Yep.
wife.
The
Mr.
Glad to
G.
see
wife.
Paul.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
just on my live yesterday.
yeah. I see her in there a bunch. There's me double dipping,
Mm-hmm.
John double dipping, John with the H,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah. There we
Morse,
go. Hey, you didn't
my
call me no
man.
H that time. I appreciate it, Mission. Usually he'll say, "What's up, Carl?" No H, Garrett, and everyone else.
So my man Christopher Walker, he's big about support. He's here
Yeah, cool. He
all the
actually
time.
he shared everything out to Facebook as
Yeah,
well.
he
So I
did.
did
He
get
Yeah,
did.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instagram too. That's how I ended up finding. I checked my messages. I was like, okay, they put me in a post joint. You know what I'm saying? I said, let me add it to my story as well. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Christopher Walker here, he'll tell you a story about how tame my rats are if you ask him.
Yeah.
We
I hit
got
him up. I had him on my show. He wasn't laughing at him before.
My man Batman, Gotham City.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Let's see. My man Val, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Val?
And we got Mitzi.
You gotta rep the shirt, Carl. You gotta rep the shirt, Carl.
I'm gonna blow it up
Quality.
all day. All you can eat, only $6.99. Let's see, my man Platinum. He's been busy here lately. He's my brother from another mother, and uh, he's got some awesome NR Mandarin stuff. If you haven't checked him out, Pat, you need to check him out.
Yeah, man. I might even a couple of these people. I'm gonna definitely reach out to you two guys, man. We'll have to set something up, man, so y'all can go live with me one day. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Show off
definitely
some of
do
y'all
it,
stuff.
man.
Well,
Yeah.
Definitely
actually,
do it. We'll show up for
when
some
I hop
snake and
off, I'll
tail.
probably DM you guys for real.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got the big homie Sean in house.
Sean.
Yeah. My man Michael, Third Coast Exotics. He's got everything.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Everything.
He's also great at making funny comments about filters on posts. I'm just saying.
He
Just saying.
is. He is.
Yeah. I was literally sitting right here, and like during the day, the sun just absolutely just blasts in through the windows, right? And I have a red curtain, so the red curtain was like casting this like red glow over my face, and he was like, "Filter holding on strong." And like in the video, I was dying. I was like, "No filter, man." I was like, "Really? There was no filter on that." I was like, "It's just the light, just trying to just drown me out, 100%."
Yeah, yeah. He said that. I had to go back and rewatch it. I'm like, oh my God. It looks like he's got that rosy face
Yeah,
from
like I got red cheeks and stuff, and I'm like, not at all, because I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, did I accidentally put a filter on this? Like, I didn't think I put any filter on this thing, but yeah, it was
my
wild.
man Bosa.
Yeah,
He's in
Bosa.
and out a lot, man. Bosa's
Yeah,
a good
Bosa.
dude.
Bosa is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my boy. I talk to Bosa. I got Bosa number. I talk to Bosa every now and again. Hit him up, check on him, see how you doing. Bosa's a good guy. Actually,
yeah,
my logo, my Snake Man Pat logo, the newer one, he did it. I sent him a
awesome.
picture and he put it together for me. Yep.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Awesome. We got Brave. He's in and out a lot.
Yeah, I do like his new logo. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. That is
Logo.
bad. We got RO 5.0.
Yo,
He's been
I gotta
popping
get.
up in and
I'm ready to
out.
get
He's
Roe. I'm ready to get Roe on the. Me and Roe ready to go live soon.
Yeah,
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 he came on one evening with me when John was working over,
yep,
and he chatted up with us when we were still on just Instagram. I'd like to
yeah.
have him on again, though. Maybe talk some more. But
Chondros,
he's
man,
a
gotta
good
talk
dude.
Chondros. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
TTPs,
Yeah,
man.
yes
yeah.
sir. Yep. Real good people.
So
That's my
here's my
boy.
partner Jody. That's we was talking about them house snakes earlier.
Yeah. Listen, Jody. I will eventually have those mice for him. I promise. I might have to just go and pick up another colony because, of course, you know things don't work right in the void house. So
My man Dickie Foster, he's in and out a lot.
Yes sir.
He's in just about every live I've ever been into. He's popped in.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Dickie, he
He,
hop on shit. He hop on all of my lives too, whether I'm talking
yeah,
about snake
yeah.
or just BSing. You know what I'm saying? He always pop in
Yeah,
and show.
yeah, yeah. He actually was
Yeah,
one of the 1,000 follower giveaway winners when I hit 1,000
Okay.
followers on IG. So, um,
yeah. So I think Val wants you to share the link to him too to watch their stuff and hop in.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, but I
Yeah.
got you.
So he's got some impressive snakes too. You want to do some snake and tail? He's a guy to have on too.
yeah, yeah.
Shoot,
He
Val,
he.
Val, hit me up, Val. We definitely can do something. I'm trying to find people to book up for the next few weeks, man. So y'all, you hit me up.
Yeah, yeah. He will like, but wait, and then he'll do one of these numbers, and then he'll go grab a snake, and then you'll just be like, "Where'd that come from, Val? Like, what is that?"
Yeah, Will snake and tail.
Yeah.
Okay, TikTok.
TikTok.
He's on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
lot. He's a TikTok guru now.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, guys, all you gotta do is just go through and you like a bunch of stuff from all these other people. You hop in the lives, chat it up, throw some comments in there, send some likes out, follow people and everything like that, and you'll grow a following what seems like overnight almost on
In a
there.
heartbeat. Yeah.
It's fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty close to the 900 mark myself,
Yeah,
followers.
yeah, yeah. I've not been on it significantly, but I'm already close to the 200 mark, and like I was like, I'm not even like on here all like that much, and I don't check it frequently. But to be that close to 200, I'm like, that's wild.
Yeah. So when we have our shows on Monday, I'll get these clips generated up, right? And I'll try to post them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't go all the way through TikTok, but the ones that do, man, they get a lot of attention.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, so the post from today, I recorded it on TikTok first, so it posted TikTok first, and then I took it over to IG, and then took it
Slim
to Facebook
Shady.
as well. Um, so yeah, it just went. It kind of I kind of did the big three, but because TikTok is such an easy like creator platform, I went that route first, um, just to give it a try, see what it was all about, and it actually didn't do bad.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
because
honestly, I'll give you my little cheat code too. When I was first starting to build up my Instagram, my followers, and my content, I'd hop over to TikTok, load in a bunch of pictures, make me a video, scroll picture collage on there, put some music on it, post it to TikTok, and then I turn around and post it to Instagram and Facebook too.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's effective.
yeah, right there, he does 100%. Look at that. I'm way behind on learning this stuff. Barely work IG correctly.
That's John, yeah.
He said I have to bring my wife to the expo. She's got to do the tap pay. She's
Yeah,
got to take care of it. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I get it. I get it. Mission. I was not an avid social media guy. I was against it. I
no,
was like, no, I don't want no part. I'm gonna stick to me. I'm gonna be in the background. I'm gonna just do my thing, and then interact with people as they come my way. Right. I realized faster than in a hurry, the world is like centered, like especially the reptile world is centered around social interaction across media platforms. You have to be here in order to interact with these people. And to think that like I'm just this little young guy from Indiana, like would never have thought, I'd be meeting people from Texas and Oklahoma, California, Virginia, you know, all over the place. And we've had people from everywhere hop into the chats and just talk it up with us, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is what the intention behind social media was to begin with. It was to bring people in from all over the world and allow them to interact in a public forum.
yeah, 100%,
telling
100%.
you, telling you. It's amazing how I always think about like, dang, snakes bought all this. Snakes did this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, we all the same people, bro. You know what I'm saying? No matter what path of life you on, what race you are, big, small, whatever, male, female, whatever you claim, it brought us all here together. And we the same motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
We are the same. Nobody is better or lesser than anybody, man. We all in this shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that's
100%.
one of the top things that I appreciate about the community. You know what I'm saying? It really did bring a lot of people. Like, I know people in Philly, Florida, Atlanta, Chicago. Man, I had people. I'm talking about these people. These guys. I got their phone number.
Yeah.
I can literally hop on the phone, call them up, and say, "Hey, bro, listen, I got this going on with these snakes, man. What should I do?"
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? John for Mission. I ain't never met John in person. I got John's personal phone number.
He
I can
said
just
he was
call him on the
all
phone when
green.
I need to talk to him. Proxima. I can call him on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I got these people personal number. So the community is just, I mean, like I said, in anything you got the bad fruit. We gonna just say that for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, this a cool community. Like, I pretty much watch people like you guys, other podcasts, and I pretty much know who to stay away from and who to deal with. see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if somebody were to come on your channel and I kind of feel a vibe from them on your channel, I'd be like, nah, I ain't going. I'd rather not. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I could watch your channel and say, okay, I like the way they podcast. I like the way they do their thing. They freestyling it. Yeah, I gotta have them guys on. I gotta hop on. I gotta have them on mine. You know what I'm saying? So you can pretty much, I put it to you this way. I interview anybody that y'all will interview because I know y'all ain't gonna interview no bad people.
Yeah.
Knowingly.
Right.
I
Right.
can
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put it out.
Yeah.
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 Knowingly interview bad people. You know what I'm saying? So, that the community is awesome, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I do feel like sometimes, what, and then anything that you got a bunch of men in can be ego driven. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the ego get a you know, little rough, but for the most part, bro, I love it. I love it, bro. My YouTube, you go on my feed, yo, it ain't nothing but slick stuff coming all the way down the feed. All the
Hmm.
way down the
Yeah.
feed. That's all I
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? That and morph modeling. That's it. That's it.
Listen, more fun can get you in trouble.
Oh man.
It
Shit.
gets you in trouble fast.
I was on
Especially
some
in,
auctions the other day. I said, yeah, I gotta get off of this.
yeah, that one right there, the auctions, man. Woo, tear you up. Tear you up.
Yeah, I gotta get
Ah,
off.
you're like, can I use that? Oh yeah, I could use that. Like, all right, let's start throwing down on it. And then like I'm bad about it. Like I'll just, if anybody who's active in the auctions and everything like that, everybody's like, oh, let's get into a bid war back and forth, right? I'm like, I'm not playing that game. I'm gonna set a max bid that I'm comfortable paying with, and I'm just gonna put it away. I'm just gonna walk away from it for a minute, and then whatever happens, happens, right? So I've lost more than I've won, and the ones I have won, I'm like, all right, cool, like
Mm-hmm.
works for me, like
Yeah. Well, so Saturday, or no, it was Sunday. I set out with malintent. I was gonna mess somebody up on an auction because I was looking for a specific snake, and just so happened I was cruising. I sat down in the middle of cleaning snakes and made me some lunch and was just kind of perusing through the auctions like I do, just pass the time. And I saw this snake and I'll be like, huh, I've been looking for one of them. Huh, $45 and $65 shipping. Okay, I'll put a bid on that. Right. And I got thinking about it. It's like, man, I just lost a snake. So that means I gotta do something to fill the void, right? Like I gotta either strengthen that project or push another project forward. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna push another project forward, right? So I got outbid an hour later. I'm like, all right, now we working. I put in my max bid, what I thought I was comfortable, and I was a little bit reserved for that, right? So I put it with a little leadway. So I set that up and went bam, 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 bam. They waited till about 25 minutes left of the auction to beat my highest bid.
mm,
Pulled that sucker open. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I said, I'm about to mess some people up here. So I sat there and boom, they outbid me. Boom, they outbid me. Boom, they outbid me. Boom, I run that sucker up. Uh, now I still got a hell of a deal on the snake
yeah,
because that other guy realized I wasn't playing.
right, right,
Uh, so the catch 22, I was bidding on one snake. I messaged the fella after I won the auction. I'm like, yeah, here's my shipping details. Get with me because it was kind of late, 9:30 at this point, my time. I was like, get with me, we'll work out shipping. He's like, hey, congratulations, man. You got a pretty good deal. He said, I'm already running this other auction on a snake just like it, another female. He said, if you want it, I'll give it to you for such and such price, shipped, both of them. I'm like, send me the details. Let me know more. shoot me a picture or two of this snake, you know? So he sent me the pictures. I'm like, all right, I actually like that expression a little bit more than the other one. And it's like they're both 2021, unrelated females. The first one was about 1750. The other one's knocking right on her back door.
Mm.
All right, perfect. Let's run it. I'll take them. So that's why I got 2 snakes coming in Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about how you talk to people, right? It's all about how you talk
Yeah.
to them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I knew. I mean, going into it, I knew I was like, I'm about to fuck some people up. I'm taking this snake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're sitting there like, oh, 3 minutes. 3 minutes again. Let's reset that. Let's reset that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 No, I had it all the way. So I think it was 11 minutes left of the auction, and that's when the other guy called it quits.
Mm.
You know, I bid, set my phone down. I'd hear a notification go off, come back. Oh, I got outbid. Bid, set the phone down. You know, same thing, back and forth. Finally, about the 11-minute mark, I put my final bid, and I'm like, 11 minutes. I'll take a break and watch it. So I was just sitting here watching it, refreshing every now and again, waiting for him to come back, and he just vaporized. You know, so
Yeah. Jumped onto the next deal, probably more than likely. I mean, because when you can pick something up 60% of retail, like Mission said, 50 to 60% of retail, that's pretty good. I mean,
yeah. I
that's
mean, I think this was more like 35 or 40% for both snakes
even
because
better.
I won the first one, and then he offered me the second one on top of it at less than what I would have paid for the first one,
Yeah, yeah.
and said that price is shipped. So
So I mean, yeah, you're coming out in the green on that.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's what I call meant for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Too good a
and
deal to say, nah, not today.
I'm not real big on auctions. Like I don't. I look at them. I check out snakes. I try to see what they go for on auction just to kind of fill stuff out. But uh, what's he say? Never go over that without winning them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's how I am right there. If I'm that set on it, it's
yeah,
mine.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. At that point, it doesn't matter what you pay. You know,
No, there's never a not for sale. There's always a price.
absolutely. That's why they bring them. That's why they put them on there.
Well,
They
you
wouldn't
say,
put them on
girl.
there for
Hey,
no
hey,
reason.
hey.
Like they put them up there and it says NFS on it, or you go to an expo and you see NFS on it. You're like, I know you have a
No,
price
that's
on
hey,
that.
look at this pretty snake. Make me an offer. That's what that means.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You walk in there, with a roll like that, and you say, they'll be like, "It's yours." You know,
Yeah.
they're gonna take it, and I'm like, makes sense. You know, you
Yo,
cash is king in them
Adrian.
things.
Ain't
So
ain't too many people gonna deny $5,500,
right,
$7,500 in a single.
right,
Well, I
yeah.
tell
You
you
just
what,
made their
though,
weekend, man. You just made their
Yeah,
weekend with
told you.
that.
Ain't too many people
I,
gonna
I
deny
would be
that.
the one asshole that did though, because if I take a snake saying, this is what I created, and I know damn well that's my holdback. I fought for everything I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you,
bought
you,
some snakes that were like way down here and build up to here, and then build up to here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'd be the asshole that tell you no.
They walk in, they're like, "Here, I got $5,500. Will you take that?" And you're like,
You know?
7,200. You just kick them up just enough to make them mad, right? Just
yeah.
enough to
No,
make
I'd
them
be
mad.
like 12.
Even worse, they'd be like, and
Give me
run. They
11.
take off running.
Yeah, give me 11
Yeah,
5.
because I ain't in this for the money though, for real.
Uh,
Like this is this is what I want to do into retirement. Yeah, it'd be nice if it starts paying for itself, but I'm not gonna make millions and retire over it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be enough for me to quit my day job.
Right.
I still got about, 14, 15 years left in that hellhole.
I don't even
Listen,
want to talk about it.
I
God
got
spare
more
me.
than that, Carl. Let's just be real. I just hope I ain't got to be
Yeah,
turning
but
wrenches for
you a
that
young
long.
fuck too, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God spare me to see July this year. I'll be on my job 18 years.
Oof, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm coming up on my ninth year in November. With the local cable company, so it's not bad. I definitely don't think I'm gonna be able to do it for forever. You're doing the trade stuff. Being outside, dealing with the weather, turning wrenches, climbing ladders, slinging wire. It's
You
gonna
know,
start wearing on you. Yeah, it's gonna
you
start
know,
wearing on you. so
yeah,
so
I'm
I,
telling
I I feel it already, and I'll be 30 this year. So I'm like, if I'm already at a point where like my fingers and toes hurt when I get up to put my boots on in the morning, like we got a problem. Like
Hey
we
man,
gonna
I'm
have
telling you,
problems.
I just turned 41 yesterday, and sometimes I can get out of bed, man, and I'm still tilted until I get to the kitchen. I just started straightening up once I got to the kitchen.
Oh
You know what
man,
I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm
Well,
telling you, man, get up in the morning, sound like firecrackers in the morning. Bones popping, you know what I'm saying? That shit. I'm telling
yeah.
you, man. I'm
Look
telling you.
at it.
They're all giving me crap. They're gonna give me crap already. They're like, look at this young buck over here talking about how
He
his
said,
body
breast milk
hurts.
smell like milk.
But hey, happy birthday, Pat.
Yeah, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
definitely happy
Yeah,
birthday.
Yeah, I hope
yeah,
hope we all live to see many more of them things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. Mission said he's 56. Okay, okay.
He said he pulled a muscle from his
Mission,
socks on.
Mission got them firearms over there for you.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, and third coast, I don't sleep well. I don't sleep well. That's probably that could have a lot to do with why I hurt all the time because I don't be sleeping.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I,
ready to go take a sleep test in a couple weeks. Matter of fact, I got to go take a test for sleep apnea.
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
I know that I always tell people like, yeah, I gotta get off, man. It's bedtime, 9:30 or whatever. I literally lay here for 2.5 hours just tossing. A lot of times, just not able to get down, just restless.
I'm telling you, bro.
But
yep.
Yep. Life be
man,
life. Life be life in
yeah.
though, man. That come with it.
100%.
Will
And
sounds like me in the month of March. I'm just saying.
yeah,
He's got his son's birthday coming up, his daughter's right after his, and then his other daughter. I'm like, that sounds like me. I got my dad, my best friend's kids. I got a nephew born in March. I got 3 of my own kids born in March, and my grandpa in March. So like I'm broke that whole month. Like I ain't got no money.
he
God,
said no snake money.
No snake money. No snake money. Hopefully
That's
we'll have
why.
some.
That's why in March John don't even talk to me except for Mondays.
Yeah,
He
his
said, "I know he's going to offer me a snake."
well, you already did. You already did. I got flipped the list, and he said, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Well, if I had to pick, it'd be that one, but it's gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to like let me plan this one out, you know."
yeah.
So yeah, that'll be the last edition for probably a little while, probably until Daytona. Honestly, I think that'll put me right where I want to be at, like quantity wise, before I go into Daytona in August. So
Okay. How
yeah.
many snakes do you currently have right now?
Um, I think right now I'm at like 28. So I'll
28.
put yeah. I told myself somewhere in like the 25 to 30 range is comfortable. Like I can do that by myself, no help. Now, when I was up closer to that 100 mark, I had a partner. I don't have that partner anymore. A lot of things kind of
Yeah.
shook
Yeah.
out wrong and stuff. So I had to downsize significantly. So when I went through downsizing and then like getting rid of stuff to replace it with other stuff, That's kind of where I got to. So now I have a focus on like projects specific to the recessive morphs that I want to work with. And then I have layered codoms kind of spread out all over, male, female, both directions. And then there's only a couple, like a handful of other codoms that I would like to kind of bring in as time progresses after I already super the forms that I got. So it's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I be telling people all the time, I don't really want nothing else unless it makes sense to
Yeah.
what I got going on. I don't really want no snake just because it look good or
You
it's
say, Mac?
I wanted to make sense. I wanted to be something that I'm interested in or willing to breed to try to create something. Other than that, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've found that if you don't want to buy snakes, you just need to quit looking because you're gonna find something
You're like,
that's gonna fall in your lap, and you're gonna be like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna make it make sense in your head, and that's the biggest thing is you can't make it make sense in your head. You're like, well, I could take it there, and I could go this route, and then like, wait, if I do that, I could do a holdback, and I could bring it back around to hit it
You
again,
gotta
and then
make
you're
it
like,
make sense.
yeah, you're like forcing it. You're forcing it to like fit to the project, and you're like,
Right.
I probably shouldn't do that. I probably shouldn't do that.
yeah." You got plenty of room. Counting current babies, we're right 210, 212, 23 hogs, 2 boas, and 1 carpondro.
Man. Yeah. See, listen. If I was working in like I had more space, absolutely. I could probably handle like if it was just me, I could probably comfortably handle if I had more space to accommodate, probably up to 60 and be okay.
Okay.
Flying solo at 60 is not terrible because it's every day it's checking and it's just working all the way through. And it wouldn't hurt me to do that. But I'm kind of in a place like I still got a little bit of extra time in the evenings to give to myself, to give to my kids, to give to some like other things, especially like with like designing the shirts and updating the merch store and posting the reels and being active in the groups and stuff. That all has to take place simultaneously with all this too. If it's just me and I push myself all the way up to the 100 mark, I'm gonna be slacking somewhere. Something's got to give. So. Yeah,
See
yeah,
that?
yeah. No, he's not
Don't make
wrong.
shit without plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, from what I have currently, if it all goes successful and breeds, the holdbacks will get me pretty close to doubling what I got. Right, so I'll put myself closer to 50 just based off of holdbacks alone that I would want to keep off of like the pairings that I'm going to be making coming forward. So.
Yeah, but at a certain point, a holdback replaces the mother and father.
Right, which in at least two of the projects that I have that I'm working, that's the goal is I'm gonna raise up a 1.2 off of them if it works out. Granted that's odds gods in my pocket. Hopefully that I can pull a 1.2 off of like my first run of clutches and it be double visual like I want, and then I can just kind of ticker tape them along, get them up to size, confirm that they're active breeders, and then I'll go about replacing mom and dad. I don't want to replace mom and dad until I can confirm that those babies are going to breed. Because bad luck, you get a male that only got one hemipene, and he ain't doing his job right.
Yeah.
So
I was only born with one, but I did all right.
One time behind his back.
Hey man, you crazy as hell, bro.
need a shirt that says "Warning: May tell you that snakes have two hemipenes."
Yeah. Yeah.
No one do this.
I saw one of those memes one time.
Abby just said it. Abby just said it. The shirt needs to say, "No arms, 2 dicks." Now what?
Yeah, let's go. She got it. She's got it figured
You
out.
can even put them arms on the snake like what?
Yeah, there we go. Listen, Abby. 2 days and it'll be ready to go. I'm not kidding.
It'll be on there.
So yeah, like everybody, like anytime that we throw out some like funny hashtags or like witty sayings or something like that, and like it really gets a rile out of us, I'll be like, give me 2 days, it'll be on a shirt. And I'm not kidding, it's happened multiple occasions. I have them on
Yeah.
shirts already.
So every Monday night we come up with a shirt design, and sometime, like by Wednesday or something like that, he's got it on a shirt on his
Yep.
Printify
Yep.
or
Yep. Yep.
Shopify.
Yep. I throw them on shirts, and I still got to post that one from last week. G Paul, shout out to G Paul for giving the input on that shirt. It is done. It is ready to go onto the store. I obviously got my computer in front of me tonight, so I'll be able to kind of like mess around with it a little bit and get it on the storefront and everything. But as we kind of work through, I'm pretty much just pulling from Mondays, man. Anything that's funny, anything that comes about, I'll throw it on a shirt and say, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate y'all guys for having me too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Well,
Yeah,
it's always good to cut up, especially with a new face, and it always brings a new perspective to how we look at things. You know what I mean?
So,
And I'm 100% about education. I would
Yeah.
like to be one of those persons or people that if you have an issue, you call and be like, "Hey, I got this, this, and this. What do I do? Or what's your take on that?" And if I ain't got the answer, I'll be straight up with you. I don't know. I'm gonna call this guy though because I know he knows, or this girl because I know they know. But we gonna get you where you need to be, and
Yep.
and then that's what we're here for. Community.
that's exactly what I was just ready to say, man. It's nothing like running across people that will help you without any motive. We don't know each other other than the internet. You see what I'm saying? Other than this very moment, Instagram, YouTube. It's good to run across people who will offer a helping hand without you even asking.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's if you see somebody down, pick them up. You know what I'm saying? If somebody in need, open your heart, man. Open your hand, give them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be stupid, but at the same time, man, it's about everybody coming up. I always say in the end of my lives, we can't be golden until we all shine. That's what
yep,
that's what makes us golden when we all are shining. I can have my own shine. Y'all can have your own shine. We just lights. But once we come together, it become that it's brighter. The more and more lights mend together, the brighter the light get.
Yeah.
That's when we
That's
become golden, man. So, it's always good to know. Just like you said, it's gonna be a time where I do call you and say, "Hey, bro, listen, I got this and this, man. What should I breed it with? What should I? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make everybody mentors because I feel like a different perspective from everywhere is about the best thing you can do.
it makes you more well-rounded, right?
Well, right. That's it.
You get this perspective, this perspective, this perspective, and this perspective, and you put them all together, and you
yep.
come up with your own, right?
And that's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, we family, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? We're a family, man. We better together. You know what I'm saying? We better together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, where'd he go, my man? I'll pull him up. I'm gonna plagiarize right here in just a second as I find him. This guy right here. This guy right here, third coast. His big thing is eight strong together.
Yeah, man. I gave two away today. Yeah, telling you. Just
Yeah.
So, and he say it all the time. You hear him, he'll say apes strong together because all of us people, you get together and you work together towards one direction. You help each other out. You are ultimately stronger for doing so. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All the small things is what make the big things hold.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You,
Yep.
you open up a clock. You open up a clock. Each little piece in there is in there for a reason. Without each little piece, that clock can't tick. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things that all of us in this huge world, not downplaying us. because we will make the world go round, but we are small things in this world. All of us together is what's making this thing go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I always tell people, man, we better together. You know what I'm saying? But everybody don't see it that way. So you know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, that is. I will give credit to the reptile community for that. You know, the snake community especially. We all grasp that fact, or majority of us. I won't say all of us, but majority of us grasp at that fact that, you know, hey, if I'm here and they're here, why would we not? You know, we're here. Keyword, why not? You know, because we can, like you said, we can be golden together, we can shine together, we can do it all together and be just as successful as if we were doing it by ourselves. But honestly, it's going to be better doing it together than you ever thought about doing it by yourself. You know, you got somebody that's got your back, that's picking you up, that's going to help you out. You know, say you lose, like big heat rush hits the house, right? You lose all your rodents or whatever. You know, like you forget to change a forget to change a fuse or something like that in your house, and you trip a breaker, and then like your heat's gone and you lose all your heat panels and stuff like that. You know, you got somebody that's got your back that you can call and be like, hey man, do you got some extra heat tape that you can help me out with for the time being so I can get through just to make it work until I need to go get this replaced, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it just having that community and having that reinforcement, you know, it's going to get you further faster. Like Carl, I'm gonna copyright and you know, steal from you a little bit. You said if you're in a room of 3 millionaires, you're going to be the fourth. You know, if you're in if you're in a room of three successful people, you'll be the next one up. You know, it's waiting your turn, but don't miss the bus when it comes. You know, and surround yourself with like-minded people that push you to the furthest extent of your reaches. You know, um, keep going, just keep going, keep going, and keep going. And then the more that you enter those rooms with those people who have, you know, that are there, that are giving you the knowledge and giving you that advice, you're only building yourself up that much further.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. I agree wholeheartedly. Yep, agree
110%.
wholeheartedly.
110%. So I'll
Yeah.
say that to say this too. The other part that John didn't plagiarize, right, was if you surround yourself with three drug dealers, you're gonna be the fourth. You surround
It's
yourself with three
duality,
criminals,
it's
you're gonna be
balance.
the fourth.
You need the other side too. You know what I'm saying? The other side of the
Yeah.
Yeah,
fence.
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So if you keep yourself in good company, you know,
Watch how you treat
and
people fair,
and
man. Be good to people. You know what I'm saying?
and here's one thing that I always like, and I've heard a bunch of different times in the different groups I'm in. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're doing something wrong, and you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I
that's
like that.
food for thought.
I like that. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Give Val a big shout out right there. We love his support. Yeah. Showing
yeah,
love to this,
that's
showing love to the sponsor right there. There we go.
yeah, that's
White
why
feather
he's a
balls.
sponsor of the show right now.
Yeah.
Um, so you know we've got we're up to four sponsors total now. We are slacking a little bit. We need to get a little advert video or something, but
Working on it. Working on it.
yeah, we got reptile ads. We got white feather balls. We got Garrett with Dirty Bay Reptiles, and we've got Ribbons Forge, G-Paw,
Keep on,
and
yeah.
my computer's about to die.
Yeah. Gotta get on chargers, man. Carl, you're about to cut our main feed. We're about to, we have to be just standing around
I
like,
got it. We got her.
yeah.
So yeah, so I do have a sponsored shirt. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah. No, that's not it. Who gave a computer to a redneck?
Damn.
Man, he said, one moment, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to click on the right stuff. Well, so Pat, you did say you're going to potentially get into breeding your own rodents. What rodents are you thinking? You going Norwegian? You going ASFs? Like, do you have restrictions where you're at or anything like
I'm
that?
in Virginia. I don't know if I have restrictions down here. I haven't looked into it. But majority, I fed my snakes at ASLs one time.
Uh
I
huh.
went to a reptile show when the guy had some, and
Hmm.
me and my man Rock, we went half on them. We went and grabbed a big bag of them, and the snakes did pretty well on them. But I think I'm gonna go Rex.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a pretty common. I mean, you find Norwegians a lot faster than you find ASFs in certain areas. ASFs are kind of hard to come by. Um,
Right.
yeah.
and I mean, there's surpluses sometimes and then shortages other times. So like to find them like on hand significantly all the time, it's not very common, especially if you're not actively breeding them yourself. So I always tell people if you can diversify the diet just a little bit, like it may not get something like
You got
a
that address, Mike.
massive colony, but get yourself like a 1-3 of some ASFs if you can get your hands on them and just dabble a little bit, just supplement with that alternative option, just to give them that extra protein and B, that versatility in their diet, because they do kind of get lazy. They're
Mm-hmm.
notorious for getting lazy and just saying, yeah, just lay it in here. I'll just get it whenever. And then sometimes they don't even want to take it. So,
A lot of my snakes have been that way. My clown, his feeding response was so crazy, man. I could open it up. He fell. I think I posted it on my Instagram. He fell completely out his tub. He came all the way out
mm,
and wrapped around his water bowl. Him and the water bowl came out. He hit the ground. Bow. Now I'll be wiggling in front of it. He won't take it. If I leave it in there, come back in an hour, so it's gone.
yeah,
The strange girl, same thing. Leave it in there, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? My normal, leave it, gone. Pad girl, leave it, gone.
yep,
A lot of them ain't even taking it off the tongues. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
yep.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It might be worth trying just to get them a little bit of diversity in that diet, a little bit. And I hate to say it, I don't recommend necessarily feeding live if you can avoid it, but
I hate
some,
feeding live, to be
something
honest,
a
but
little bit more docile, like an African soft fur, you're not going to get as much claw, you're not going to get as much bite and chew, and they're not really going to tear them up as much. Norwegians are notorious for biting and clawing and everything like that. They really will tear your snake up if you're not careful. But
yeah,
ASFs aren't as aggressive. They're not going to go out their way to like bite on your snake and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I
So,
had a rat one time. I had my snakes in the tanks at that time, and I didn't have but like three. And I had went and grabbed a live, threw them in there, man, and he had walked up to. I thought my snake was gonna go ahead and nab him, but he didn't. He walked up to him, smelled them, then he ran away from him. So I was like, okay, he know, there's something in there with him, man. That thing went back over there and started gnawing on, nibbling on my snake, bro. I'm talking about without my snake even bothering, he just went back over there and just started hitting at him. Shoot, I took the tongs and grabbed them. I ain't care where the tongs caught him at, you know what I'm saying? And I caught him right on the side and picked him up and put him in there with my other one. The other one went ahead and wrapped him on up. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of you, buddy, because you got too much going on, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You're too aggressive, you
And
know.
that's another thing about breeding your own rats. You're in charge of the temperament, right?
yep,
Okay.
You can selectively breed like the biters and the jumpers. They're the first to go. You
yep,
know, you get and you have the ability to do fresh kill instead of frozen thaw.
yep, yep.
So I've got video. I've been on live with my camera in there in the rat room, and I'll reach my hand in there and pet my rats, and they'll sit there and take it like they like it.
Mm.
And same thing with the ASFs. I had a guy on. I was over here petting a Norwegian. He's like, "Yeah, you could do that with a rat, but Norwegians are mean." Blah blah blah. I said, "Oh, you mean breeders?" So I turned around. this side of the room. I open up a tub with breeder female ASFs in there with a boatload of babies, and I'm petting them too. And they'll sit there and kind of cock their heads so I can get behind their ear.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
man.
I mean, seriously, I work with my rats that much.
Yep. Yeah.
And
You're
you're in charge of
a
the
rat
temperament.
breeder that has snakes, right, Carl?
Yeah. I spend more time looking at rat balls than I do messing with snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was kind of crazy how you could put one male in with three females, three females, and they just work as a unit. Like, don't nobody try to kill the other one or be more dominant because it's more than, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy how they in unison, like how they actually stick together, help raise each other babies, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, they're colony animals by nature, so their goal is to group up in like massive quantities, and colony it up. So like, no one mom is put to too much stress over the other. They all just collectively and communally feed all the babies and do their thing. And majority of the times, they're all pregnant almost in unison. Like you'll have one drop, 2 days later another, 2 days later another. Like, but depending on how you do your colonies, some people prefer the small, 1-3s. Some people do bigger. They go like 2-12s or 2-20s, and like I don't recommend the 2-20s in the Norwegians, but like a 1-4, a 1-5 in a real big tub, that's not bad for the Norwegians. It really isn't.
yeah, one male to five females.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro.
And I'm telling you right now, he'll do just as much work on all 5 of them females with no hesitation. And then females will drop literally back to back to back, and you'll never run out of feeders. It's about the best way to do it. Now, Carl and I do things a little bit differently when it comes to ASFs. He does smaller colonies, but he's got more small colonies. I do one very large. I right now currently have one very large colony that's like a 212. And all the females are dropping. Every single female drops. So, and then I'll splinter out another after the females raise up. I'll like take two adult females and a lot of the younger females and move them over with a younger male or 2 younger males, and then do it that way. And then they'll just run. And then they just kind of balance themselves out. So you might see a small shock, but what you got to do is you got to prep yourself. You got to plan yourself out a little bit, because you are going to see a dip in your colony just a little bit if you do it my way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shoot, I'm already getting game. So when I start breathing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We can hop on a Instagram call or something, video call,
For sure.
and I'll walk you through my rat room and show you how I set up.
He's got way better setup right now than what I do. The only other thing that I could second to him, if I had the space that he has, I would do the same layout, but he does individual water bottles as to where I do a watering system. Be the only thing I would trade out. And it's just because convenience for me. I don't have somebody that is capable or able to help me fill water bottles all the time. He has some supportive hands at times, so it does help benefit him. Very much so. It's his baby. It's his thing. He does it, and he does it dang well. But having that extra set of hands every once in a while does play to his favor just a smidge. That's where I'm flying solo, and if I ask one of my kids for help, they're like, "Oh, Dad, really? I gotta help you?" And I'm like, "All I need you to do is fill this water bottle up. Like, can you just help me out?" It's like pulling teeth, man. They don't want to do none of that. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I am blessed because I got a very supportive wife that puts up with all my BS. And she will, as she goes out to let the dogs out, she'll browse at the bottles. And if it's summertime and they're drinking more, she goes, fills up the water bottles. But there's a method to my madness on why I do water bottles, because that forces me to be in there every single day.
Yeah.
Right. So even back when I was just doing the region rats, and I fed on top, you put the food up here. I know they'd be good for 2 or 3 days on food, but I was still in there every single day, putting eyes on those rats, putting hands on those rats, because I was in there forced to check the water.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that I built such docile colonies so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the only thing that I would recommend, because Will even said he does a watering system. Watering systems are great. The more you have, the more frequent you have to fill, right? So I have a 5 gallon bucket, like a water pitcher, that I fill up, and then it like goes down and it splinters out. The only difference that I've done and changes that I've made to my watering system is now they're not top fed, because they're technically meant for like guinea pigs and rabbits. They're meant for larger rodents. So instead of top feeding down where they can push them up and it'll just flood the tub, I turned them sideways and come through the side of the tub. Is the only difference that I've made. And now my water lasts longer. I got to feed them every day, because I only give them enough for the day, right? So I've got my feeding down to that, right? I don't do like the pellets and everything like that. I intermix the pellets with some other supplemental stuff, but it's a very reduced ratio of the pellets, because I'm trying to play with some things in their diet to see if I can't produce some variation. But that's the luxury that you get when you have enough to keep your feeders going and rolling and stuff. You can dabble. You're like, okay, well, if I add this and I add that, and try this, maybe try that, and then you can pass that advice on. Hey, this worked for me. Hey, that worked for me. You got a chronic chewer, try this. You got somebody that you got the hoppers that absolutely have springs in their butts. Try this one. Something like that. Which that is notorious. You will have that as they start to get a little bit fur on them, start getting more mobile. They'll be springing all over the place. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I ain't pretty much, man. I ain't worried about when I do start breeding and furthering things with my collection and whatever I got going on. I can honestly say that I ain't worried about nothing. I know I got the resources to make sure everything goes as I need it to go. You know what I'm saying? I got the people behind me to say, hey, bro, I'm doing this and this. The rats are starting to eat each other. You know what I'm saying? Or any question that I need to ask, I got somebody who I can reach out to and say,
Yeah,
hey, bro, I need this. Hey, what about this, bro? This. So I'm really not. You know how a lot of people go into things kind of nervous.
yeah,
I'm not nervous at all.
that's good.
Not
yeah.
That's a good
So
place to be.
speaking of your thirst for knowledge, when we get done tonight, I'm going to send you a sheet that I use. And
okay.
this is specifically tailored for Norwegian rats, but ASF is kind of a crossover. So it tells you the things you can and cannot feed to them.
Okay.
And it tells you what you can feed to them, but only a limited amount. So
Okay.
you'd
So
be
I see you
surprised at the
really
different
you
things.
real picky with how you do. You real meticulous on how you do things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So just like John has said before, some of his rats will get table scraps and stuff like that. Well, you want to know what you can feed them and what you can't, right? And what's going to help them and what's going to hurt them. And ultimately, it's about providing a balanced diet to them so they're more nutritional in value to the snake.
Yep.
So you have things like cannibalism. You talking about, hey, my rats are eating each other. There's three things, major things you should look at first. Water supply. If they run dry on water, they will turn and start eating them babies because they're afraid that they're not having enough resource to support them babies.
Yep.
Food source. That's your second thing you should look at because if their diet isn't high enough in protein, they're going to get that protein by eating the babies or each other.
Yep.
And your third thing is one of the bigger resources is space. Are you running a 1.5, but your tub's too small because you got 5 litters on the ground,
All makes sense.
Yeah.
right? So if you're going to run a 1.5, you got to run bigger tubs.
Yep. Yep.
Things like this you need to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes to going built or bought on your rodent racks, both are valid options. It just comes down to convenience for you. Do you think you're competent enough to build something that's going to last, that's going to withstand, you know, multiple colonies coming through it, the potential for chewers, the potential for, you know, this, that, and the other? You got to factor all that stuff in. You're going to build something well out of like sturdy material that's going to last. I highly recommend casters. I highly recommend casters on whatever you do. You build a rat rack, put casters on the bottom of that thing. That way you can move it and clean underneath of it, clean behind it. Put casters on the bottom of that thing.
No grapes, no onions.
Yep. Yeah. I limit it down to like green crunchy. So like
See,
they get like a little bit of broccoli, some kale, spinach, lettuce, but not like iceberg lettuce, like romaine lettuce and stuff like that. So you try to keep them with like the nutrient dense foods and try to steer away from like the, you know, the controversial stuff.
I was watching it's been a while ago. Urban constrictors, I believe it's Paul. Urban constr-
yeah,
urban. Constr-
Okay. Yeah.
He had like carrots and stuff in there with the rats,
Yeah. Root
and I was like,
vegetables are really good. Yeah. Root vegetables are really good.
yeah, like he had
Um,
base stuff that you would feed them, like the mix. But he also had like a couple of carrots and stuff in there with him.
mhm.
And, you know, they were thriving, man. You know what I'm saying? He had a
Yeah.
bunch of babies down, and you know, and it was one
Yeah.
of those really big tubs though. So he had a few colonies in that tub was
Yeah.
huge, a big tub. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely, if you're going to start like scaling your quantities, like significantly scaling your quantities, go with grow out tubs, grow out bins. That way, like when their ears pop, when they've weaned, they're off mom completely, you can move them out, right? So that way you can run a couple of other cycles out of that same original colony before you pull them and replace them with the grow outs, right? So you want to keep your breeding stock fresh. You want to be able to kind of outcross and stuff like that, so you're not tethering on that inbreeding coefficient, because that inbreeding coefficient will really run rampant throughout your whole colony as far as rodents if you start to do mom and dad to kids to siblings, and then you just kind of like keep it all like in the same tub. You start to run the risk of some like beluga head, you know, crooked hands, like real messed up stuff.
yeah, same thing in the dog world because I bred dogs before too, and um I messed around and one of the because we did a little inbreeding to keep the blood tight, but we started noticing that a couple a couple of generations down that the dogs became a little crazy for lack of better words. So a lot of the litters we were having issues selling them because they were banging each other up because all they did was fight.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about these puppies were 5, 6 weeks old, but they were fighting each other like grown dogs. We could walk out there early in the morning, feed them. One or two of them would get to the bowl first, start eating. The other ones would come. Them jokers would just lock up, start fighting. And I'm talking about for like we could actually be trying to pull them apart. We can't get them apart. They really holding on to each other. I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna have to start separating them, man,
Yeah.
because there ain't nobody gonna buy no banged up puppies. You know what I'm saying? We started noticing that, so I was like, well, look, we kind of need to cut back from this inbreeding thing. You know what I'm saying? And kind of find some stuff that we like on the outside of this because it's making the
Yep.
puppies crazy.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You
So
start to they like it, same things translate over. You know, you breed your females, you buy your males, right? So like you can because males are a dime a dozen, right? So you get a quality female intact, that's the one you hold on to. You make her. You know that she's good. She's got that solid foundation for your projects and stuff like that. It's the same thing that translates to when you're breeding rodents. The same thing that translates to breeding dogs, snakes. Doesn't matter what you're breeding. If you're going to bring in new blood, always introduce a male into it, right? The only thing that the caveat to that is ASFs don't necessarily like to outcross from other colonies unless you're pulling right when they first get to wean state, right? Like just as their ears pop, then you can like because they're in the because a lot of times they're in the same room, right? One colony here, one colony here. They're in two separate tubs. If I pull an adult male from here and put him in this other colony, he's gonna get messed up immediately, dead, just killed instantly.
Mercy.
But their babies, if I take their babies right when they wean, bring them all up, put them all in the same tub together, they assess their balance a lot easier. They can handle and tolerate a little bit more. So that's the only caveat when it comes to rodents. But yeah, same concepts.
Yeah,
And
Norwegians, you don't have that so much. That male's going to try to get it in, no matter what tub you throw him in.
yeah. You could technically work a stack, right? You could have a 5 tubs, and you can work that whole stack with 2 males if you wanted to. You could have 4 females in each tub. You can literally take a male from the top, put him in the second one, male from the third, put him in the fourth one, roll all the babies down to the 5th one, and then rinse and repeat back and forth, and they'll just run that way.
And that's something that I was going to suggest.
Go ahead.
You've got 15 snakes right now.
Yes, sir.
If you were going to start breeding today, what I would suggest you do is start at 3 colonies. Get you 9 females and 1 male. Drop that male in for 3 weeks with the top colony. Pull him out. Put him in the second colony for 3 weeks. After that 3 weeks, you'll start having babies in that top colony.
Yep.
Pull them out of that second tub. Put them in that third tub. Right. You got 6 weeks now, so you got weans in that top tub, and you can pull them out. 3 weeks, drop them back in that tub.
Yeah.
So you can rotate that 1 male.
So it would keep
through
it
3
constant.
colonies. Yes, keeps it constant.
So gestation is 3 weeks. So sometime within
18
that 3
days
week period of time.
Yeah,
they'll
18 to
get knocked
21.
up.
18 to 21 day cycles is what rodents run. It's the same thing for a lot of like smaller birds, mammals, and things like that. They run on 18 to 21 day cycles. So 18 to 21 day gestation, they have their litter, and then that litter's up and ready to go, active at 6 weeks. So you got like 3 to 6 week windows where you're breeding that next generation like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. 3 weeks, top tub, second tub, third tub. By the time they get to the second one, the top one, the third one, the top one is weaned. Pour them, stick the male back up. I got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I think with three females, average of 8 per litter, that's going to feed your collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I got it. I pretty much got it, man. Like I said, when I started, bro, I ain't worried about nothing, man. I honestly can say I'm not worried. Whatever I don't got, I don't have knowledge I don't know, I got the resources to get it. That's why I said I'm not
but
worried
it's important starting out so small and not having as much overage to stay on top of your rotation. Your breeder rotation, 6 months max on Norwegians.
Yeah, you push them any further, they're going to start to reduce size of litter.
Yeah, and you're only talking about litter size. I'm sorry.
You said after like 6 months, you said this kind of calmed down with how you
take them out, rotate new blood in.
Yeah. So before that 6 month period, you already know it takes 6 weeks ballpark to get a rat from a little pinky all the way up to just about breeding. So say, okay, this top colony is my oldest colony. It's going to rotate out. I know that before I drop that rat in there, that bottom colony, I'm going to set back 3 females. That the middle colony, I'm going to go ahead and take a male from.
Yep. So then you're.
And I'm going to set them back in a grow out bin, or you can do like I do and be like, oh, this one's pretty and that one's pretty and that one's pretty, so I'm gonna keep them 3.
3, yeah,
So I'll
okay.
take them
Yes.
rats, I'll take the females in, and I'll put them in 1 extra rat per tub, and I'll let them stay in there and watch the mothers nurse the babies and raise themselves up, right? And a lot of times I'll go ahead and pull that male out, and like I keep males in, right? So this is a little different. I'll pull the male out of rotation. For you, you keep him in for a little bit until that other male's ready. But I'll pull that male out the top bin, and there's no more active breeding. Once they drop their last litter,
That's it. Yeah.
6 weeks, they're gone. You know, all them females. When I'm weaning that last set of babies, them females are gone.
You
But
just
all
feed
that
them.
while, no, I don't have nothing to eat them that big. I'll gas them and freeze them and sell them to a retic or
A berm
a
guy,
Burmese python guy.
boa guy with a big boa.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all the while that even after I pulled that male, there's these younger females getting taught how to nurse and how to care for young. And I think that's an important step because a lot of times you start a fresh colony without doing that. Their first, maybe even second litter, they'll eat the babies. And I think it's because they just don't know what to do.
Yep.
Mm,
Yep. Yeah. The
mm.
females struggle if they don't have someone to teach them. That's why they're such good in colony animals. You got the
Yeah, they're a
they're
colony animal.
nanny rats is what they're called. So you keep an old female around who's maybe just that she's a deactivated breeder, but she knows how to nurse babies. She knows how to teach things like that. You keep her around for just a little longer to teach that next group so that she learns, and then like, hey, I can use babies. I know where my food source is coming from. I know where my water's coming from. I don't have to feel stressed or tension. I know I got the support of all these other females that are in this bin to help me. You know, I can lean into them. And then obviously with the male rotating out, it actually helps reduce the level of stress because they're the most fertile right after they drop, right? So that male's immediately going to try to hump her the second she drops babies. So having him come out of rotation and like move down tubs actually is going to like free them up of the stress that they're going to feel if that male stays in there.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
definitely,
and
I'm definitely
Val
playing some
dropped
games.
some pretty good knowledge as far as numbers go, as far as inbreeding coefficient goes. So with Norwegians, it's 1 to 30. ASFs, it's a lot more extrapolated, right? Where we're stretched out, it's 1 to 300. So that means that you can get through several generations of inbreeding on your ASFs before you start to experience like deformities and stuff. But Norwegians
Deformities and
being
stuff like that, yeah.
Norwegians being that close means that you probably should have multiple males, and that way you can splinter a little bit better. That way you're not dancing with the same blood constantly throughout all your
Yeah.
colonies. So
Yeah,
that's
but
what we were talking earlier.
you got people around you that breed rats, so it's not going to be hard for you to say, "All right, I need a male to bring in."
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. You
I
trade
can set
male
back,
for male.
I can set back 12 females to reset my colonies, but I need that male.
Yeah. So same thing that like you were saying when you were doing dogs and stuff, you would like start to go outward and try to like resource new genetics in, right? You're not going out researching genetics for females. You're going out saying, hey, what male is going to produce something quality against my females that I got? Same concept. You can set back females that you know are going to be the size that you want, the nature that you want, everything like that. You bred them up, you know their quality, you know they're going to produce, 8 to 10 pups out of a litter. You know that all you need is a male that comes from quality breeding to come in and throw down on it just the same. So yeah. And I will say that if you can find somebody, obviously you have somebody local who does breed for the sake of feeders, right? If you could find somebody that breeds for the sake of pet trade, because there are pet trade rats, find somebody that does that. You can introduce some of that Rex and Dumbo bloodline, and you're going to start to produce very, very large rats very, very quickly, to the point where you got to start reducing the size just by playing with genetics back and forth. So it's not a bad idea. That's how me and Carl both kind of got it. We got in with somebody who bred for pet quality stuff. So we brought all that blood in, and then we had to start introducing from other places different Norwegians to try to reduce the size. But the way that they get up to breed ready faster, they just explode the size so quick. It's phenomenal.
So
Yeah.
do you breed for pet quality for temperament?
Yes. That's
Okay,
the
gotcha.
big reason why you want to get somebody who's got some pet quality stuff, because feeder quality stuff might be a little nippy, might chew a lot. You know, you kind of run the risk of like bad behaviors being instilled into your colonies out of some feeder, like mass feeder production and stuff like that.
Okay.
When you go to pet quality stuff, they got to produce something that's docile. They got to produce something that can be held and pet and like be able to free range without chewing stuff up and stuff like that. So you got it's not a bad ideal. It honestly kind of helps a little bit to bring in some of that like pet quality blood, because they can crisscross any which direction they want. The rats, they breed is what it is, you know?
Yeah, it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. So, yeah, it made sense. That's what made me ask the question. I said, okay, that would make sense to breed pet quality for temperament. You know what I'm saying? It would.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would.
So I've actually sold pet rats out of my feeder line because they essentially are pet quality.
Yep.
They are docile. I can go in there and pet them and the whole 9 yards. You know, it wouldn't take anything for you to work with it just a little bit more and get it to come from you from across the room.
Yeah.
You know?
Put on a little leash vest and like walk them like how people do with the. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, Carl, if I see you walk a rat across your floor, we're gonna have problems.
I seen a dude. I followed the dude on TikTok. I tried to actually have him on my show, but he be producing the hairless rats.
Mm-hmm.
He got a
Double
couple
Rex.
of the hairless ones, man. But the hairless ones he got, man, he'll have one on each shoulder, and they'll be sitting up there chilling, man. They be messing with his hair and nibbling
Yep.
that, messing with each other, back and forth across them. But they sitting up there like, yeah, we chilling, man. This is our boy right here. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, that's kind of cool. I'd be freaked out because I'm like, them just hairless already. I'm like,
They
you
look
know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
couple.
So,
They
Yeah.
look like a
but
couple
they
ball sacks
seem,
sitting on his
yeah,
shoulders.
they seem
Yeah,
so
they
cool,
really
man.
do.
Like he take them off and put them in the screen. They ain't trying to bite them. They,
Yeah.
they loving up on him, calling all back up his arm, getting back up on the spot, sitting back down, and I'm like, yo,
Yep.
that's actually kind of cool. Like he got them trained almost. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
it's dope. It's dope. It's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same stuff you do when you get like a pet bird. You get like a lizard that like a leopard gecko. You can put a leopard gecko on your chest and just chill there all day and just be vibing. Ain't gonna bite you, ain't gonna scratch your claw you, nothing like that. Same concept. You work them enough, they're gonna turn into puppy dogs. They're just gonna chill and just vibe out with you, and
Yeah.
they're cool to have. Yeah, I got birds in the other part of the house, and if I were to let my male out right now, and I kept this door open, he'd be sitting right here like looking at
That's
himself, like,
crazy.
what's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Either
That's
that or
crazy.
he'd be down here trying to grab a hold of my chain because he's got this like little like dangly toy in his pin, and it has a chain that attaches up. So anytime he gets on my neck, he'll like try to grab a hold of it and yank it, and he'll bite me on accident and stuff. And I'm like
Damn,
he
yeah,
got me.
dude.
He got me.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's
but yeah,
cool, man. My homeboy was trying to give me two birds, and these particular birds they thrive when they have a mate,
yeah.
but they
Yeah.
don't do so good if they're alone. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Lovebirds.
like, well,
Are they
yeah,
lovebirds?
I ain't sure. He did tell me the name, but I forget exactly what he told me.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful birds, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of them I seen one that was blue, one
Yeah,
that was
lovebirds.
green.
Blue body, black head, white collar.
One of them did
Yeah,
look just like that.
yeah. Those are lovebirds. They are best in pairs, and when they bond, they get to breeding. That breeding pair, if one of them passes away,
The other one gone.
that other one's gone fast and in a hurry. They bond
That's
for
what it is,
life.
man. Because he told me he was like, if one of them go, the other one probably ain't gonna live much longer after that one. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So I was like, yeah. So that's what it was. Love birds.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really cool. I had one growing up, was real young and everything, and he by himself, and he did not do good by himself. He needed a companion, so he ended up going back to the pet store where I got him from.
Yeah.
I had to relinquish him. I'm like, listen, we can't do this bird. He's by himself. He
Yeah,
hates
man,
it.
he's stressed
He
out, man. He
hates.
going through a
Yeah,
state of depression, man. I had to bring him
yeah,
back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. And
that's exactly what he told me. He was like, they do better with a mate. I was like, he said, so I can't give you one. I have to give you two because it's not gonna do well by itself. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So
yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I think that's a kind of a bird thing too. It's got to be because I got cockatiels, and I'm tell you what, man, if they weren't together, I don't know how they would thrive. Honestly, they love each other so much.
yeah, man. I be thinking it's weird how those animals are. I was fishing earlier today, and we seen two cranes together, and I don't know which if it was male or the female, but one was like a little bit further ahead of the other one, and he was trying to land on top of on top of the tree, but the other one kind of swayed off and turned and went back. Hey man, before his feet touched the tip of that tree, he turned around and went right back behind the other one. It was almost like they were speaking to each other without making no kind of noise or nothing. He just knew, like, okay, she turned around and went back. I'm gonna turn around and go back. He turned
Yeah,
around, went back, and then we seen them both standing side by side. And I said, okay, they got to be a pair. You know what I'm saying? Because every move that one make, he making. You know what I'm saying? They were
yep.
just together. I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah, yeah. It is fascinating when you look, and that's we actually were talking about that earlier today in the group message, talking about like doing like herpetology like talks and stuff like that. So talking about like when you go out herping, you're flipping rocks, you're walking creek beds and stuff like that, or you're taking pictures of like nature and stuff like that, just to see wild animals and how they interact and stuff. It piques your curiosity. Like you said, you were curious. You're like, hey, there's got to be a breeding pair because that just makes sense. Their behavior makes sense. So something like that
Mm-hmm.
is a great topic to bring up as far as like when you talk about herping and stuff, because spring's right around the corner. So everybody's going to be out hiking and exploring and being out, fishing and kayaking and all that stuff. So you're going to be in nature constantly. With
Mm-hmm.
that in mind, it's like, what about this crazy world around us? Like what about that? Like
Hey
let's
man,
talk about that a little bit.
I'll tell anybody, man, if you really want to know how to live, yo, and how to learn order, structure, the animal kingdom, man, the animal
Yeah,
kingdom. If you look into that shit, that's how shit go. Hyenas, they move as a unit. Lions, a unit. Birds, unit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to
yeah,
teach them nothing, bro. When they come out here, instincts automatically start clicking.
yep,
Automatically. You know what I'm saying? So I I tell people all the time, man, if you want to learn some order, some structure, bro, look at the animal kingdom. It's gonna put it there, even with the rats.
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
it's structured though. You see what I'm saying? This order. You know what I mean? You got the queen. You know what I'm saying? You got the king. You got the workers. It's structure in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to learn how order and all that go, animal kingdom, bro. Animal
100%.
kingdom.
I believe that.
yeah,
Yup.
yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. There's
Anybody?
another man been sharing us out and hopping in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ocellus,
yeah,
Put that right
yeah.
there.
Ocellus reptiles.
I don't know their actual name, but they are in
Oh,
our chat thread just about every Monday. I don't think they've missed one yet.
Miss One, yeah.
Since
Yeah,
Yeah, since they hopped in and started really like watching, they have not missed a Monday. They show up every time, and we greatly appreciate it. As
Yep.
always, everybody that pops into the chat thread and hitting the comment section heavy and hard, it's deeply appreciated. You guys do carve out that time in your day to sit and watch us and listen to us babble. These two guys from Indiana just absolutely with no sense about us, learning every day.
I wouldn't want it no other way though. Like I'm actually glad that I hopped on and you know what I'm saying, got to talk because sometimes when you when you do stuff like this, man, you get stuff off your chest too, and it seems like petty conversation. We ain't, but it gives you a sense of release. It
Yeah.
kind of helps you stay civilized in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may not see it,
Luigi.
people may not say it, but y'all are y'all are having an effect on the universe, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for that, because that definitely reassures us that we're doing things the right way. I definitely, me and Carl have had those private conversations that it's been something that we never thought would take off. Never thought even in the slightest that this was going to gain traction the way it has. It was just two guys that, hey, we hop on Instagram calls and stuff and just shoot the crap back and forth because, we're so busy, even though we live probably 5 minutes from each other at least, but we're both so busy. We don't ever actually get to cross paths. We go to reptile expos, the same reptile expos, the same day, and never
And
see
don't
each
see
other.
each other.
Don't see each other. And I'm like, how does that even work? Like, it don't make no
Yeah,
sense.
I'm a big guy, you know.
Like, and I'm standing up over top of everybody, I being a little bit taller than everybody that's there. I was like, we got to see each other. And I was like, I wear the same hat every day. Like, I'm at a reptile expo, you see this black hat. That's that's probably John right over there, standing over there. And we don't see each other. And I'm like, how? And he's like, I was second guy through the door at the Cincinnati show. And I'm like, dude, I was 20 minutes after they opened. How did we not cross paths? Like, what is the world?
Man, what y'all got
Wow.
here is what I call meant for you. Like I told you about how he got the snakes and all. Meant for you, man. This is what y'all supposed to be doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the planet, man, whether they're doing good, whether they're doing bad, I feel like everybody we wouldn't enjoy joy if it wasn't for pain. So even the adversaries are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that are
Yeah.
not on your side, the people that are against you, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're against you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
good and bad, you know what I mean? Joy don't feel good without pain. We don't enjoy the sun without rain. Everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
definitely what y'all supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
I desperately appreciate like everything that you like man, you giving so much affirmations and like just positivity. It is fascinating. That's the if you have not launched your own like shirts and sayings, put it on a shirt. Put it on a
All
shirt.
right. Matter of fact, go back over, make me a shirt with one of my sayings. Some that clicked to you that I said, put me together a shirt. I
I
got you.
got you.
We
I
will.
got
I
you.
got
Yeah,
We
yeah.
will.
Yeah.
you.
We
We
will.
will definitely do that for sure. Like I said, 2 days, man. I have it on a shirt. You already know.
All right, what's today? Monday. All right, Wednesday. I'm gonna
Wednesday,
check in, see what you got going on.
Wednesday. I got you
All
Wednesday.
right.
Watch.
All
Like, that's what
right.
I tell everybody. I'm like, I'll have it on a shirt by the end of the week. Like I told Val
Yeah.
that, because we ran a little bit later and everything like that. We were just babbling. I mean, at a point, just babbling, and we were talking about feeding hatchlings, and he was like, "Yeah, them red hots." And I'm like, "Red hots," and he was like, "Yeah, fresh, ASS, like a day old ASS." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're not pinkies, they're red hots. They
"Red
are
hots, they fresh out, fresh out."
fresh out the mom.
And he was like, "Oh, that'd make a good shirt." I'm like, "Bet, watch this." I had it on a
And
shirt
got it.
on my website literally 2 days later. I was like, "Watch this."
So do you guys feed your hatchlings the pinkies?
It depends. Like if we got a troubled one that comes out the egg a little smaller, one that's not taking one with a little bit of fur on it.
Yeah,
Sometimes that hatchling or that little red hot pinky is what you need.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And sometimes you
And
have
So
to
what do you
extend
sometimes
his
know?
feed.
What do you guys know to start y'all snakes off on? Like when they come out, after they that first week of being, they shed out. What do you put in front of them?
Size depends everything. Like it depends on like how much, because like you're gonna weigh that snake initially, right? Because like when you have
Right.
like your hatchlings and everything like that, when you hatch them out, you put them on a card or something, some way to keep track of them, right? This
Right.
was something that we actually created um for
let me
all
blow you
hatchlings to
up.
come out of here.
Show that
So
off. Blow it up.
yeah, Void Century
Oh,
hatchling
that's
card,
dope.
right?
That's
So
dope.
you got your dates that you feed, the type of food you feed. What else did we put on there? Did it take? Yes or no? and then any notes additional, whether it was an assist feed or whether it was they struggled, whether they were in blue because they refused or anything like that. But up there at the top, you're gonna get an initial weight, and then you're just gonna like carry over and just write new weights as you feed them. Before they sell, obviously. So like when that person sees it, they're like, okay, when he weighed that snake initially, it weighed this much. By the time it got to me, it weighed this much, and I know every time it hit its checkpoints, this is where it was at on all of its checkpoints. So you have record of everything from the time that snake hatches to the time that snake leaves your care. You have a record of everything. Is the best way to do it.
Yeah. So that's sort of a birth certificate for your snake.
Yeah.
You want to look at it that way.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so like
I got the same thing.
If they're coming out, for me, if they're coming out like 50, 60 gram, I'm not going to offer them a fuzzy rat. I'm going to offer them like a fuzzy ASF because it's a lot smaller, size wise. Or I'm going to offer them a pinky rat over a fuzzy rat. But majority of the time, if I'm coming in that's like the 100 mark, yeah, see, his is actually filled out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I got a little bit different information on mine than he does, but the back is pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's good that y'all keep everything documented like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah,
and these are all the hatchlings that I got right now that I'm going. So I've got birth certificates for all of them.
And just a heads up, if anybody would like the format or like for me to put their logo into the format and send them the proofs of it, I am more than happy to do so. Send me logos. I'd like to get 2 variations of your logo so that way we can do front and back. And you have a choice. You can either choose the style that Carl's got or the style that I got, where it's like a still image on the front and then a back. Yeah, Batman, I will absolutely do it for you, man. You just got to send me the information. Send me the information.
Yeah, another thing too is I'll pull this up again because not everybody needs to be as detailed as I am. So I've got all kinds of pairing information up here too. Right, I got information on the dam sire, the project name, pairing dates, ovulation date. I got all this information. It may not be pertinent, and the customer actually ain't even going to care about some of that. So all those little lines of information is customizable.
Yeah, I can change them to whatever you want. Like you tell me what you want on the card, I can put it on the front, I can put it on the back. If you like the layout of the graph with your like logo recessed in, like I got a car, I believe yours is your original logo recessed in the back, isn't it?
No, it's the new one.
Okay. So new one on the front.
Yeah. I got the new one on the front,
and then
there's no logo on the back.
No, yeah. So yeah, when I did this one, so this is actual logo that I use. But I ghosted it in the background. That way people like it brand, they're like, hey, that's Void Century Serpents. I know that guy. It's just another way to brand yourself further. So like, say you sell a snake to somebody, they have this card, right? And then their buddy comes by and then they're like, hey, here's the birth certificate for my snake. Oh, I know that. Hey, let me look that guy up. And then it's another way to advertise yourself. Just standing on business, keeping your information clean, concise. They have it. You're not missing steps any which way. They got all that information every single time they ask for it.
Yeah. So. And also, this serves as a tool for you.
Yes.
Until that snake leaves.
Yep.
Because you ain't even got to think about it. You just pick up the card and look. Oh, well, this one right here skipped his first meal, but ate every other one.
Yep.
This one right here, I'm gonna blow this up because this is important. I'm gonna drop some information on you. This one right here, he skipped the first 4. If he skipped number 5, he was going to be pulled out of the hatchling rack and put back in the incubator in a 6-quart shoebox tub by himself.
Yep. And then
A
assist
lot
fed.
of times, if you put your hatchling back in the incubator and you give them water dish and the whole nine, something about that extra heat will get them on food.
Yep. And they'll just start crushing. He's not wrong. It's like a little trick that you can just drop them back in the incubator and just whoop, and then they take
And I'm
off.
gonna prove it to you. This one right here. This is off an earlier clip. I don't know if you can read all this, but I'll read it to you. So you noticed how I put no. So I started feeding this one before. In the notes section, it says 12 assist meals total. Always offer 3 days before assist feeding. So I'd offer the meal, it would refuse. 3 days later, I'd assist feed it.
It's
And
good
that
that
was
y'all keep
between,
everything in log like that, though.
yeah. So that was between 11-2 and 3-1, right? When I offered, I put him in 3-1. I put him back in the incubator by himself. And I'm like, I'm gonna starve this dude out. I'm gonna put him in there for 2 weeks. I'm not gonna touch him. I'm just gonna change his paper towel and give him water. And I threw a rat pinky in there. And it was like a light bulb went off in his head because it's clear glass front incubator, clear box. I threw that pinky in there. He was faced back towards the back of the incubator. He smelled it. His head raised up. He turned and looked at it, and he dove right on top of it. So that was his very first unassisted meal. I kept him in the incubator for 2 more offers. So that's 3 total meals in the incubator. And then I pulled him out and put him back in the hatchling rack, and he hasn't looked back. Every time I throw something in there, he's on.
Yep. So I mean, it's learning those little subtle things. And assist feeding, though scary and terrifying, should always be A, your last resort, and B, not as stressful as what you think it is. It's not that bad. Once you've done it enough, now your first time, absolutely terrifying because you're this big, giant creature and you're holding this snake that ain't the size of an earthworm almost, it seems like, is little bitty, and you got to hold its mouth open and get that rat down, that rat pinky or whatever you're feeding it. You got to get it down its gullet so that it doesn't spit it back out, because the first thing it's going to want to do is try to spit it back out. So your goal is to not bruise the jaw, B, get it in the throat, and then set the snake down and let go and let the snake kind of undulate itself. So like you try to get it to understand the concept of feeding for itself, kind of thing is what you're trying to do. You're just trying to stimulate the urge to want to just say, okay, yeah, I just got to take this down my gullet. But yeah, there's some little tips and tricks that, like, I'm sure everybody would be like, hey, try this, hey, try that, like the incubator trick and everything like that Carl just said. That's a absolutely just a one-off situation that you would never think to do, but the second that you do it, you get that snake right back on food and you're like, oh my gosh, it worked. Hey, this is tried and true, it works. I'm gonna keep using it as a backup to assist feeding. If I can't get it to kick over off just assist feeding, I'm gonna try and use the incubator trick. It's it's not a bad thing. It's not bad to have all that information in the arsenal. As okay, well, did I try that? Hey, wait, did I try that? Hey, I remember somebody said something. Let me call them up and see what they let me get with them and see what they got to offer as far as some advice in situations like you said. You got those people you can call tomorrow if something were to go awry. Same concept when it comes to hatchlings, that it comes to adult snakes, that comes to rats, it comes to anything. Just reach out to them people and just keep at it, because it is effective. But yeah, if you're wanting the breeder cards, Pat, just shoot me your stuff, man. I got you. No big deal. You just let me know what you want on.
Say less, bro. I got 2 logos. I can send you 2, one for front and back. So I got
there you go. So yeah. You just then you just tell me the style if you want something more like Carl's, where it's got like all the information on the front for the clutch information, or if you just want mainly just the birth certificate style. like I said, just let me know.
So his is like a huge business card, right? And birth certificate. Mine is more breeder oriented information, and then it's got feeding records, kind of for the people that I give them to as well.
Right on, Val. We'll catch you later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
take
I'm
care.
finna hop off of here too, cause I gotta get ready to have my ass at work by 6:30 in the morning.
I got
And
you.
I
I
got to
got you.
shower and everything else to see if I
Yeah.
can't go on to sleep. But guys, let me tell y'all something, man. I've enjoyed myself. Thank you so much for having me. I definitely got to set y'all up for some dates to come on my show off some of that stuff y'all got over there. Um, do me a favor, man. Continue to be great, fellas. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying peace and love to you and your families. You know, hold your head high, man. Keep your head up, chest out, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it,
much.
Pat.
We appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
Absolutely.
sir. Yes,
nice
sir.
having you on,
Yeah, man.
and we'll catch you next Sunday for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Peace and love to everybody, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Take care.
you.
All right. Peace.
All right, John.
Cool. Cool.
What you got to say?
All right. We'll I guess we'll call it quits, close up shop, everything like that. As always, everybody, thank you so much for coming out and giving the support, giving the love. We appreciate everything that you do. We appreciate you guys being in our comment section. Keep blowing it up, keep spreading the word. We love the interaction across all platforms. Push us out there. We've talked social media like crazy, but the community is growing, and it like Pat said, we shine better when we're all together, right? Everybody can, nobody can be golden without everybody else around them, doing the same thing. So keep it up. We appreciate him coming on. He is a wealth of positivity. I really like his positive push and his message and everything like that. Like I said, he's got affirmations for a little bit of everything, and I can vibe with that. I can really vibe with that. So awesome guy. Great to have him in. Thank you guys in the chat. Look forward to seeing you in next week. Who do we got next week?
I believe it's open panel.
Oh, our open panel. Hey, listen, if you guys want to come in, let us know. We can get somebody squeezed in there. We'll get an advert out if you guys want to jump in. We greatly appreciate it. We don't mind letting you guys have the soapbox, letting you guys kind of talk your business and maybe do a little bit of snake and tail. We love snake and tail. Love snake and tail. So maybe get somebody in and do some little snake and tail. That'd be kind of cool. But as always, guys, don't forget about Operation Deeds Not Words 2. Go give your love, give your support to that cause. It's a great cause. Keep pushing, keep grinding, keep working at your goals. And we got your back always.
Yep. 100%. As always, John did a too good of a job. I ain't got much left to say. So, I will say when you're keeping your animals, when you're doing your thing, much like the situation that happened with me Friday, right? You're going to have bad things happen. It's just part of this, especially when you get up in the numbers and you've got way more. You know what I mean? You're increasing your odds that you're going to see some not so nice stuff. And it's hard, super hard, not to feel really bad and beat yourself up about it, because there's things that you feel like you could have done differently or things that you could have caught early. But it's important to realize that you're doing what you can, you're doing the best you can, and keep pushing forward, right? You can't let that one upset stop your progress and stop you from moving forward, you know. Um, yeah, it still sucks to talk about losing that snake because she was a damn beautiful snake. I had her for a decent fair amount of time, and I'm not writing her off at all because she's going to have a piece right here all the time. Um, but that some of those things were out of my control, and I realized that. Um, but in order for me to keep doing this, I've got to keep moving forward. So that's what I think I want my message to be tonight is no matter what your ups and downs, and this can be snake breeding, this can be in life. You got to look forward. You got to keep pushing forward. And there's your time to deal with like grief, and there's your time to deal with the sadness, and there's your time to enjoy the happiness, and that's your walk of life, right? And it's important to keep looking forward and just realize that when you've got something on your heart, you got something heavy on your mind, that's what this community's for. Because there's somebody here, even in this chat tonight, that's experiencing the same thing you've experienced or has experienced the same thing you're in now. And those people can be a wealth of knowledge and even just talking it out, maybe even not giving all the details, but just talking it out a little bit will make you feel a little bit better and make you get to the point where you can get up and do it all again the next morning, you know? So don't let it rest heavy on your heart. Don't carry all the burden yourself. Share and support your fellow people. So that's where I'd like to leave it.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, with that in mind, guys, thank you again. And we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great night. Carl, as always, appreciate you. Let me know about this week. We'll get that thing rocking and rolling. If it does go through, we'll handle business. So,
yep, absolutely. And like I said, if not this week, next week or the next or something, it'll get done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Not life or death. Not life or death. But
right. And it's not like I don't live down the street. It's all good.
yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
All right.
Well,
thanks for tuning in, guys.
cool. Yeah. See you guys later.